Hello, world. Hey, it's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I am Ron Bennington. And joining us today from the Bennington Show is Chris Stanley. Hi, Chris.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Chris.
Nice
How's it going?
Chris, I know you had some things you wanted to plug, and I didn't get a chance to see your plug sheet, but it's so great to have you on the Bennington Show.
Really great to have you back.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What have you been up to?
Oh, this and that. And,
have you lost weight?
Gained weight.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Well,
I know something.
Hopefully you'll start smoking again, and I mean chain smoking, because
Gotcha on that.
How long had you quit smoking?
A year and change.
A year and change, so I forget how it came up where you were able to be honest about stuff.
I think you mentioned, well, Chris, you stopped. It's great that you stopped smoking. And I was like, no, it's actually start smoking again.
Right. But he was hiding it from us. He was going across the street behind a trash can because I guess we're his parents.
Right.
But so yesterday I sat down with him, and it's just like he's using cigarettes to light the next cigarette. And I looked down. We've been out there like 10 minutes. And there was like 5 butts around him. I'm like, you really are smoking again.
Yeah. Dead soldiers, Ron. That's what I call them.
No.
That's wrong.
No, that's not it.
That's a beer can that's empty.
It's not dead soldiers at all.
Yeah, I jumped right back into smoking, chain
He
smoking.
commits, though.
Yeah, he does.
He's like, I'm not going to do this shabby.
Right.
I'm
No,
going
it's true.
all in.
Yeah. He's 0 or 10 at all times. But have you noticed that his stress level has really just calmed down immediately?
I think,
You know what?
Yeah, it helps.
Cigarettes are great for stress, everyone. I'm just going to can I do a live read for cigarettes?
They say, yeah.
I'm not sure that's legal.
Or true, because you are as stressed as you've ever been.
And what really bugs me is that I started smoking e-cigs a year ago. The week that I quit e-cigs, he went back to smoking. So I'm like, how come we can never all have a smoke break together?
Because he's a contrarian with the ladies. We know that about him.
Yesterday, I'm leaving work. And Chris and I came down the elevator together. So he goes and he sits out for a smoke.
Right.
I say bye to Chris. I'm walking towards the train. I'm maybe like about 20 feet away from him. And I hear this huge crash sound. And I turn around and there's a cyclist, a guy on a bicycle, and he's just on the ground. He's just laid out completely. And he looks kind of fucked up. So I just run towards him because I don't know what's going on. And me and about like 5, 6 other people are standing over the guy, and we're like leaning over. They're asking him questions. There's not a lot I can do. I just want to see if he needs help up or if he needs an ambulance. So people are saying, okay, what do you think happened? He's like, I don't know. He seems a little dazed. But eventually I turn to the guy who's on the ground with him and I go, do you think he's all right? Do you think he needs an ambulance? He says, I think we can get him up. Thanks. I go, okay, great. I turn back. I look up and Chris Stanley is like 3 feet away from the guy, sitting there, smoking a cigarette with no reaction whatsoever. Like, he was the closest person to this man. And he's in, like, full lounging position, smoking. And I just look at him and I go, Chris, like that. And he just goes like this. He's okay. Like, a crowd of people had ran. Like, I ran from far just to be like, oh, is this guy all right?
Can I explain something to you there, Gail? Chris Stanley is one of the last of the natural-born New Yorkers. He learned at an early age you don't react to something that's happening.
And I honestly was walking away and I was thinking, he's full Costanza.
Yeah.
Like, he is, like, I actually know a George Costanza.
Yeah.
Like, he was so inappropriately just leaned back watching the show and smoking.
The saddest part of this is he would have reacted the same way if it was you that fell off that bike.
That's what I was
or
thinking.
Jen or Vito. If it was me, he'd have jumped up. Boss, you okay? Who fucking did this? I'll fucking kill him.
Look, what was I going to do to help this dude? And plus, they were like...
Apparently nothing, Chris. Nothing. No thing.
There was like 5 or 6 people on this guy quick. I saw it go down. I'm smoking. I didn't even hear the crash. I saw it happen, and then and everyone else heard the crash and like fucking ran running towards this dude. Because he was like laying down in the street for a while. And yeah, I'm pretty sure he had a head injury, but I can't help him. I can't help this guy.
Yes.
And what if I try to help him and I end up fucking him up more? Then now I'm liable.
What more? What are you gonna do? Punch him while he's down? You gonna kick him?
People are so happy these days.
Oh
These days.
God.
Okay, Grandma, relax.
In my day, you'd have been able to go over and take his wallet. But no more. No more.
I think, personally, there were too many people around him. I mean, the one person at
Chris,
best.
if you were in the desert, you wouldn't have gotten up. So stop making excuses and accept yourself. You don't give a fuck about an injured stranger or friend.
And he was like a young guy, so I was positive he was going to be good. Like that guy.
Yes, young people never die of head injuries. You're right. Forgot.
And he did seem really dazed. Like, we all stood there for a little bit just to make sure he was speaking normally.
By the way, could you see him as a doctor? Well, he's a young guy, so I'm not going to do any tests on him. I don't know why he has a fever.
By the way, he says, I don't know what I could have done. I couldn't have done anything. I have no medical training.
You could have been a human.
I have no medical training. I just thought if he needs a little help getting on his feet, or if somebody needs to call an ambulance for this man.
Could have been.
That's all I was going to do.
You could have been like BL and sang Amazing Grace while he died on the ground. Every once in a while, that pops in my head.
Totally.
This poor motherfucker had to hear her sing that.
I totally blocked that.
There's too many BL things to remember. But that one, Amazing Grace. Man, back up. Miss Elizabeth, by the way, is just Queen Elizabeth. Miss Elizabeth passed away some time ago. I always miss. Send us this ass bopping thing.
Just a little jiggle.
It throws me off my whole day, though. Like, I'm probably just going to keep it up there like a screen cap.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty mesmerizing.
Who is she? Why is she doing this? It's fascinating, you know? I want to make a doc about that ass right there. Hello, Mommy. All right, it's Wednesday, May 17th. Chris, are you going to be able to stay the show with us today?
Yes, I
All
will.
right, cool. So
nice. That's
all locking in. I say Trump is talking the first time since the memo. Please, somebody, if there's something I need rehab is getting off watching the news at prime time.
Yeah.
I'm putting in 3-4 hours some nights. You know, I'm doing other stuff. I'm reading. I'm prepping for the unmasked that we have coming up. But I just let this craziness into my brain constantly.
It's very difficult to turn yourself away.
Did you ever notice that they just keep adding guests to all these shows where there's 7 or 8 people as guests at all times?
I have seen panels that I'm pretty sure were in the teens, where I'm like, CNN is the worst of that, where like, MSNBC will have like 6 people sitting there sometimes during a big story, and you're like, this is too much. But I swear I've seen CNN ones where it was just like, it looks like the Last Supper. It's like they're all lined up.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's really weird.
Some of them are at their house. Some of them are there. They disagree. They agree. Sometimes there'll be 8 people in a row saying Nixonian. I just feel like it's gotten insane to me. It's like a chat room, like an old AOL chat room. I can't keep up. You know, just keeps flying by, and I'm like, did that guy call me a dick?
ASL.
ASL. That was your thing?
Oh, yeah. ASL. And I'm always older than I actually was.
And had a better job?
Yeah.
I'm a bartender on a cruise ship stationed in Miami. That's interesting.
24 years old.
My time off, I like surfing and... Shut up. Oh, and I'm an archaeologist. I found some kind of dinosaur bones somewhere. A fascinating man.
Don't ask me details.
Please, for the love of Christ.
And no, the Yankees don't suck.
That'll get you mad.
Yeah.
All right, so Demetri Martin on Friday.
That's happening this Friday at 1:30 p.m. at the SiriusXM studios here in New York City. Go to theinterrobang.com for a chance at free tickets.
Free tickets for Demetri Martin?
Free, 100% free.
Demetri Martin is one of those guys like, okay, he's a stand-up, then he's got a show, and he's doing books, and now he's written and directed his own movie, and everyone else just looks fucking lazy next to him.
Yeah,
you know?
And he's a young gun for all the stuff he's done.
Oh, yeah. He's very young. He's probably even younger than he looks, because it seems like he's been around too long to look as. I mean, he looks like if he had on a graduation gown, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. But I think the people that he went to school with are like, oh, fuck.
Another project?
He actually started a movie with Ang Lee.
Taking Woodstock.
Yeah, Taking Woodstock. Which,
very cool.
There's nothing about Woodstock I won't watch.
Every time it comes history of Woodstock.
I don't know what it is. I've interviewed people. I've read books. I've seen documentaries. There's enough with the fucking Woodstock, Ron.
Now, was that Taking Woodstock 99?
Trump, they just put under it, he just said about himself, no politician has been treated worse.
It's not even that I have an example. It's just a hilarious thing to say. I'm not going to disprove it. It's just a really funny thing to say.
I don't think Lyndon Johnson thought that he was treated well, or Nixon.
Yeah.
I think Carter treated shit.
I think Carter. They treated Bill Clinton. Had a giant approval rating, and they beat him up every fucking day of his life.
This is also coming from a man who once questioned if our president was an American. I mean, that was him beating up.
I do kind of think he was born in Ethiopia, though. I can't. It's just a gut feeling I have. Where did they used to say he was from? It was some crazy
Kenya.
Kenya.
Yeah. That was all because of that Kenya. Can you believe it? He's an American. Where was the Post with that fucking headline? It would have been fantastic.
I fucked up.
All right, so Demetri Martin on Friday. I want us to do a street jokes on the air soon. Where's Vito today? He could be. Vito, I want you to be in charge that we're going to do street jokes soon. All right, Cuban shirt.
This is a very good look for you. Yeah. That hat and the shirt together.
Well, my date got moved to today, so going on a lobster boat, thought I'd wear a nice white shirt.
Wait, your third date is a lobster boat?
Yeah, it's a nice little date in New York City, go on a lobster boat, get some lobster.
Are you on a boat?
Yeah, it's like a boat. It's $10 to get on, and you take a nice little cruise up the Hudson River.
That sounds like a fucking nightmare.
This is hilarious.
Oh, all right, this fucking boat looks like shit.
Third date, and he's going on a lobster boat. That's
an anniversary. This is the nice date. Look at the SS Minnow.
Wait, why didn't he just lean forward like, what did I get myself into? It looked like he hadn't even Googled the lobster boat.
Good God. The lobster boat. Are you
looking at the North River Lobster Company boat?
Yep, North River Lobster Company.
It's a nice boat. I've been on it once.
I'm going to be standing on the dock chucking rocks at you guys.
Dude, that is hilarious.
They have a nice oyster situation.
Just take her on the Staten Island Ferry and drink Tall Boys.
Very classy date.
But here's the thing. You're driving around fresh water. You know what I mean? There's no reason for you to be eating lobster and oyster out there. It doesn't do anything to it.
Well, I mean, like, once you get to the George Washington Bridge.
Oh, come on.
What do you do? Turn around?
Yeah, you turn around, you look at the bridge, and you go, hey, that's where you get the Jersey from.
How long is this trip?
It's like a 30-minute cruise.
30 minutes.
How quick do you eat these lobsters?
How quick can you...
You sit on the boat after. It's just like during the boat, it just takes sporadic cruises.
Oh, my God.
Wait, so you're docking and undocking the entire time? Oh, my God. This is insane, Vito.
I think it's hilarious.
No.
And I think... if I was dating someone on third date, he's like, I'd like to take you on this lobster cruise around Manhattan. I'd be like, this is weird. I'm definitely going to say yes to that because it's so bizarre.
Now I feel like my white shirt's a little much.
Can I just tell you something?
You match the boat.
This is your third date. I'll put a scene note right now that he doesn't have a quarter-carat fucking diamond ring in that pocket, ready to hand it to her once they get under the Washington Bridge.
Milady, I've known you for 3 days now.
The name of this ship is the Destiny, so that's fortuitous.
A real boring tour. Where does she please you go through 3 buckets of oysters while they're trying to fucking undock that piece of shit? Oh, God, there's picnic tables on there.
What are you doing, man?
Is it lobster rolls?
Yeah, lobsters, lobster rolls, oysters.
Do you get a whole lobster at any
If you
point?
want to, you can. It's an a la carte menu.
What are you going to order?
I think I'm going to do oysters and maybe a nice little lobster roll.
Sounds lovely. That just sounds lovely.
That's
like
their
an
lobster
appetizer?
roll?
This is their lobster roll. Yeah, just pulled it up.
What do you say to a double date?
Did you just say a wing appetizer?
Yeah, she's like a winged appetizer.
I hope she has a seafood allergy. She starts fucking flopping around out there.
God, that would be awful.
They serve alcohol on this ship?
All right, Dutch wants to give you some tips here. Go ahead, Dutch. You're on the Bennington show.
Hey, Bennington.
Hey.
So let me see if I have this right. You're going on a Circle Line tour with a bunch of Groupon users and senior citizens celebrating anniversaries in 90 degrees with raw seafood sitting outside on picnic benches?
All right, first of all, this is just next to the Circle Line. This has nothing to do with the Circle Line cruise.
Yes, because the Circle Line actually goes somewhere.
Circle Line's upscale. Circle Line's the next level up from this.
Circle Line is not upscale. Nobody would ever
to the fucking lobster boat.
Compared to the Destiny? Hell yeah. I'd rather be on the fucking Circle Line.
Looks like the
How many
orca.
families are being smuggled over in this boat in cartons underneath?
smuggled through Manhattan.
Dude, I'd be doing a fucking cannonball just to get off this fucking boat so fast. Thanks, Dutch. You're a fucking character, dude.
We're going to have a good time.
You're going to be covered in butter. I've seen you eat lobster.
I got really nervous when I realized I was wearing a white shirt.
Yeah,
Yes.
risky.
I got a cup of coffee today, and I had to hold it like a foot away from my body as I walked through the building.
You're in a world of shit.
I am in a world of shit. Holy sh! He's a fucking character.
Can't believe
You
it.
can't fucking write this shit. I couldn't write a character this fucking clueless.
I can't believe that's why he's dressed like this. It's so funny.
This is my thought with the white shirt. I know I'm going to sweat in like 90-degree weather, but it's dusk, so it probably won't be too hot. Maybe a nice little breeze, but this will hide my sweat.
Well, you will be on the open water.
Yeah, the water gives a breeze.
Hey, Ray, what's up, buddy?
Hey, you know it's going to be a bad date if Chris Stanley in the background goes, that's the most insane thing he's ever heard. That says a lot.
That's a Tinder freak. That's a guy who met a mental patient at a by-hour fucking hotel.
Fucking shitty Long Island City.
This is Chris checking in a hotel. I'll be the desk clerk. How many hours will you be staying with us today?
Is there a deal on 2?
Well, considering my whiskey dick.
Come on.
Could be here all night. And would you be willing to give an extra $2 for a bath towel?
Nope.
Would you like any of our 25-cent mints?
Hell no.
Hey, Andrew, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I just want to recommend to Vito that he order the krill. I heard it's very good.
Yes, order the krill. You look like a gentleman.
Okay, that sounds delightful.
Yeah. And then just keep your mouth open as you swim by to let the plankton on the back of your tongue. Jesus. This is so fucking funny. I'm hoping New York One runs an emergency tonight at the fucking lobster boat.
Breaking news.
Yes. Breaking news, breaking boat. Everyone on the boat has to hold on to Vito as he floats them to safety.
Oh, shit.
What an animal. What a fucking sea animal.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. They're going to end up fucking just calling you a manatee the whole time that you're out there. You got to be serious about this girl. Your fucking heart is soft right now.
I'm taking it seriously, and I thought a nice little lobster boat.
Dude, I love the idea that you're thinking.
Yeah.
That's the sweet thing.
It's
but
really
check.
cute.
All right, check with your friends. You know?
Run it by us.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
An idea like that.
I probably should have ran it by. I don't want to be like Chris, bringing girls to just sleazy bars.
No, look.
From the sleazy bar.
Look. Comparing yourself with Chris is easy. That's fucking fine.
Of course you're doing better than that.
You're doing way better. You're a human. You're a human being.
Treats a woman like a person.
I treat women very well.
I forgot this thing about Vito, and I was like literally tossing and turning in bed, and I'm like, hey, Vito was recording fans down in Austin, and he was going to put it all together, and it never happened. Remember that? Before we left, that was going to be his thing?
Yeah, I remember us talking about
Does
it.
anybody else remember? Do you remember it, Vito?
Yeah, I have the audio.
For what? We've been back for like 3 weeks now.
Oh, well, I sent it to somebody actually sitting in your room.
When?
2 days ago. We talked about it. I said, I'll send you this.
But still, 3 weeks later.
What were you
But
hoping?
you just acted like it never happened. You didn't remember it.
I don't remember.
like that.
He's like,
I knew it right away too. I looked at him and I was like, "That's the face of a liar right there." Like I could tell he did a laugh that I was like, "He knows more about this story."
Now, by the way, Vito, what is wrong with this girl that she's letting you take her out on a lobster boat? You think she's just too shy to say the truth yet? Like, dude, I'm not going on a fucking boat around the Hudson.
I think she just likes seafood, and she's looking forward to this.
Yes, do you know how many wonderful seafood restaurants that you don't have to get on a hot boat?
You can stay in this building and go to one.
Yeah, seriously.
I think she's
Of
looking...
course, it's not $10 for an entire buffet.
Well, no, this isn't a buffet. It's just
I'm
$10.
only fucking kidding.
Okay,
you
good. I didn't want you to
fucking
think I was
lunatic.
that sleazy.
You're not sleazy at all. You're a fucking gentle, sweet man. That's all. He was out on some kind of Marty date tonight.
We also did that quiz that said, I would like a fun, adventurous date. This is a fun, adventurous date.
It's not adventurous, dude. That's the fucking problem.
It's an adventure around the Hudson.
Yes, that's not an adventure. Okay? People fucking go to work that way every day. You're going to go buy people that are holding briefcases heading back to fucking Jersey.
We're going to pass the water taxi. And the beast.
You try to board it.
Ken in Chicago.
Vito, you said you wore a white shirt so you wouldn't see your sweat. I would ask you to look up something called a wet T-shirt contest and let me know if you made the right decision.
That's why I got an undershirt on, man.
He's way ahead of you. Then he'll just be able to see his nice tank.
Is that a linen shirt?
I thought it was when I bought it. I thought it was when I ordered it online.
Yeah.
When it came in, it's actually pretty thick.
Okay. Because you never wear an undershirt with a linen shirt. You know that, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Because
It's
of the sweat.
ridiculous.
Take the shirt off before you go on the date.
You say because of the sweat, but then you
I'll
wear a
take it.
fucking wife beater.
Well, yeah, because the wife... I wear a wife beater. I don't wear like a...
Yeah, but how's that because of the sweat? Where's it protecting? Your belly sweat?
Never
The
thought
nips.
about that. Well, yeah, the nips is big, and also it's kind of like a optical
They are.
illusion.
They're like fucking big lobster plates. I'm very excited for you.
I am too.
I'm just hoping this.
Hey,
one
could
doesn't
you get
first.
some pictures for the Instagram?
of what, the lobster boat?
You and the lobster boat, your date, then fucking send it in to Chris another 7 weeks from now. We're all like, what was this about?
I don't know, man.
I'll take some pictures in the lobster boat. I might not take pictures of her for the Instagram.
Sure, I understand.
Take some from me.
He's private.
Why don't you do this with her, okay? After the lobster boat, take her to the zoo. I'll take you to the zoo. That was Rocky's fucking comeback
Yeah,
line. That was so
good
brilliant.
one.
I'll
That's really
take you
good.
to the zoo.
Oh, shit, Rocky.
Ice skating was on the table too.
Yeah, you should. Take her out ice skating. Steve in Detroit. Steve.
I wanted to get Gail's perspective. Do women find men wearing a lobster bib sexy?
I don't think anyone finds a lobster bib.
I don't think I've ever put a lobster bib
I've
on.
never put it on. I would probably feel pretty weird if anyone at my table was wearing one. It's not even attractive or unattractive. It's just like, it's weird behavior, male, female, for anyone.
Right. Well, I think it works with a female if the bib says, I'm a bad girl, daddy. And there's no shirt on underneath it.
That's role play.
We're on a lobster boat.
Just give her a cum bib. She's going to fucking need that the way you've been holding back these last several years. When she gets hit with a fucking MLK fucking fire hose of jizz. I hope tonight's date goes great, dude. I really do. You going to scuba diving in the fucking East River after, or what are you going to do?
No, that seems like a fourth or fifth date.
Take her out for jet skis.
Like Hitch?
So, I don't find it interesting that you pick, fun date as date number 3. I mean, that's early for fun date.
He
don't you
loves
think?
her, though. He's in love.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people do fun date early on, first or second date.
I've never even thought of making a fun date.
It's like a date that's not just drinks or food. It's like an activity.
A fun date is something that a weekend dad has to do with his kids.
Mini golf?
Yes.
So no go-karting?
Yes, these are all fun dates. Mini golf.
Medieval times.
Go to a carnival, perhaps.
Oh, Medieval Times was a good call.
No, I'm going to step in on this one.
No,
the lobster boat
Gail.
is funny.
No, I think that's a good idea.
I don't know whether we talked about this on the air, but there's this place down in Orlando now that does like a medieval times, but with wrestling. So it's like wrestling times, and you're having your stupid dinner, and there's these fucking young kids wrestling in a ring in front of you.
Oh, it's not Greco-Roman wrestling?
No.
That should be the theme.
Actually, you're onto something there. But why not just do gladiators? Welcome to gladiator times.
Yeah.
Back in gladiator times.
I want the blue gladiator.
It's Janice! It's Janice!
Janice, how are you, honey?
Good. I'm concerned with Vito and his white shirt and butter. I see it being a disaster.
Well, I saw Chris fucking the other day destroy his own shirt with tuna fish, which I never thought was a sloppy food to eat.
Well, it's because I put so much, like I asked for extra mayo into the tuna fish, so it becomes sloppy, watery fucking tuna. And then it just falls on my shirt.
By the way, I can see Jen's expression from here. Because she has to deal with him eating a tuna sandwich pretty much every day.
Jen, come on in and drop a dime on this guy. Come on. The eating habits of this show are fairly frightening. Fairly frightening. Where we literally... Why, you feel yourself as dainty?
With my green juice?
Only compared to these people. Jen... By the way, Jen doing kind of a cool Axl Rose look today.
She's got a very grunge look going.
Take me down to the paradise city. He's never stopped putting the fucking grunge shirt around his waist.
No, and in fact, when we saw him in concert, he did costume changes throughout the night. I would say somewhere between 10 to 15 costume changes. But the costume changes were changing his t-shirt and changing the color of the flannel around his waist.
Every time between songs. It was
and it took a couple times to be like, wait, wasn't that a green flannel just a moment ago? And you're like, wait, he's changing his t-shirt and his flannel around his waist.
Let me explain the grunge thing. You put that flannel shirt because it was going to get cold later.
Right.
And you didn't want to wear it now, you want to wear it later. But he's in L.A. There's no reason for him to think, I better bring a flannel along.
Yeah.
Could drop down to 78
See,
tonight.
that was something that when I moved to New York, and a couple years ago, it was flannel started to come back. I was so excited because when I was young, I was trying to look like a mini grunger, and it was just very hot in Florida to just be wearing something tight around your waist.
Particularly when you're a person didn't even like grunge.
I mean, I was a kid. It was my aunts and uncles. They were
But was there a grunge band that you ever liked?
Nirvana.
That's it?
Yeah. Nirvana. That's it.
All right, Jen.
And Hole.
This, Hole counts. Because that's Nirvana
that's
with somebody.
Punky grunge.
Kind of. It's the same songs, but with someone else singing it. Because she could get up earlier than Kurt.
Florida.
What's that?
Flannel in Florida.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It's not good.
It's a way to die. It's a way to pass away. Now, Jen, you're forced to watch this tuna attack that takes place.
Yeah, I've not ate tuna since I've been working with him, and I haven't ate it because I'm so gross. My mom makes it. I'm like, Mom, you don't understand. I smell it every day.
Oh, smell it. It's still good.
Not only do we smell it, but we can listen to it. I'm like, this is something that Jen and I discussed. How strange is it to he eats it in a loud way? You would think tuna is a silent
so grossed out.
but it's so loud the way he eats.
Oh, Chris, I'm gonna give the new rule, okay? Because I hate the people in this building who bring their lunch back. All right?
Yeah.
Leave. Have your tuna at fucking Tuna Town.
Okay. AKA Toasties.
You're gonna have to eat Toasties like a month.
It's passable. It's not.
So why do you eat it every day?
I don't. It's on the block, and I'm just trying to get some fucking tuna in me, and then getting back to work. That's all I want to do.
Salad Club sometimes.
I'm not joining Salad Club. They have tuna there.
Why don't you take a lobster boat? It's only 30 minutes.
That's what he does in his lunch break at work. He just goes out to the lobster room. I'll be back. It's only a 30-minute tour.
He's over the phone with Chris. Yeah, I know. It's only 3 weeks late, but I'll be back in 30 minutes.
How are the oysters?
Delicious.
All right, Janice, talk to you soon, sweetie.
Okay, love you guys.
I didn't know my
Bye.
tuna habits were freaking everyone out around here.
You know, I got Jen in the room. Let's dish. Let's just go out and dish today.
Put on your headphones and got the news. Let's dish to the gossip they're saying on the radio.
Cool. So.
Cool, I like that.
Cool. Love that too.
So, this one is a story from the iBang about Dave Chappelle suggesting that we don't give Trump a chance anymore after his SNL monologue where he came out and said,
Too late, Dave.
You told us to.
Yeah.
I gave him the chance. You made me.
He told the charity event that he went to that I was the first guy on TV to say, give Trump a chance, and I fucked
necessarily.
up.
Well, it's
So he said he fucked up by saying
he
that?
fucked up. Yep.
Fucked up.
By the way, the New York Times has a story today about Jimmy Fallon, and Lauren has pulled all hands on deck.
Really?
Tina, Seth, Jay Leno, everybody saying, you know, he's not political. He didn't know what he did with Trump that day.
Wow.
And, I mean, he's still blaming all of his troubles on the fact that he was nice to Trump. And, you know, even Chappelle didn't rub Trump's hair and think that was cute. But he's dropped like 500,000 viewers since then. And he's fallen into second place in the overall numbers. And they're just... he's saying, I can't...
Do you think it has to do with the tussle that he ran us?
I think it's part that, and part just like people they're doing other things. Like I said, 11 o'clock at night, you're fucking sitting there watching Brian Williams switching back and forth with Fox to see the two stories. I mean, it's constant political stuff. I don't know if anybody wants to see Frisbee Pizza right now.
Fishing for donuts.
It doesn't mean that they won't be back doing it someday, but people just don't feel that way right now. They're waiting for World War III. But this is one of my favorite parts is like they said, you think that drinking has anything? And he's like, no. That's just kicking a guy while he's down. If I was drinking, could I do a show like this every night? I mean, the fact, all those guys are doing late night and no one else asked them about drinking.
It comes up all the time.
Yeah.
And just like whatever, like last year when the president of NBC came out and said, yeah, he doesn't have a drinking problem, out of nowhere. Something's going on.
Well, unfortunately, he was, enjoyed himself on the out. When you're that famous, you gotta drink in your fucking house with the blinds down.
Yeah.
That's where you do your lines. You pull the fucking blinds down, you do 2 bumps, you sit there, get a bottle of scotch, and going like this. Socrates as a child. Much different time for me. I was beloved. My sister, my mother, my neighbors even thought I was cute. Now this fucking Trump thing won't leave me alone.
Yeah, you can't be party boy anymore.
But it is always funny when a comic has to apologize for something that isn't like even insulting. You know what I mean? Like, before it was like, oh, you said Koreans, fucking ride their bicycles everywhere, and now you have to apologize. But he's just like, look, I'm sorry, I was nice to another human being. I don't know what the fuck I was doing.
When is Oprah going to apologize? Because I thought that was way weirder than Chappelle saying, give him a chance.
What did Oprah say?
Oprah, it was like 2 days after, right? And I think it was maybe like when Obama and Trump met after he was elected, and she was just like, once I saw them together, I was like, everything's gonna be okay. Yeah. So yes, well, let's move on. It's gonna be fine. And you're like, what are you talking about? You're a rich person. You can't, you don't get to say that.
I don't know how we ever thought that Oprah was a great thinker. What she is a nice woman who had a show that people liked. But I've never heard Oprah say something. You know, all her stuff is like ripped out of fucking those memes that moms sung to each other, you know? She's never had anything of her own. There's never been a single Oprah thought where you're like, oh my God, no one else has ever come up with that before.
And she's just giving people cars, and she has her book club. And then wasn't like in the 80s her show like a little trashier, where she had like more
yeah, I mean, it was a regular, it was closer to Maury and stuff like that, and it kind of moved into something. But at no point did Oprah ever have an original thought that you're like, oh, it's good. She's an entertainer, a broadcaster and entertainer. And when people got around, they go, how do you think she would do as president? You're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Now they're bringing up The Rock's name.
Yeah.
This is how fucking low of a celebrity culture we've fallen into. A guy who's not only doesn't have any experience, but never even talked about it before.
No.
You know, never even thought like, hey, at the end of this, I like to get into politics.
He was on the cover of the fucking National Review. Like, it's insane.
I didn't even know this.
He was on the... I'll bring up the cover. It's crazy. I think it was like something in Rock We Trust.
Do me a favor instead. Just get a fucking hammer and a nail and put it directly into my brain. Let's dish, Jen.
So the next dish story is about Amy Schumer. She recently just broke up with her kind of long-time boyfriend of 2 years, Ben Hanish.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Ben.
I thought they were in for the long haul.
Fucked up, Ben.
They met on the dating app Raya, and he.
I didn't even know. I've never even heard of this.
Yeah.
Tinder for celebrities.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So how'd he get on it? Because he's not a celeb.
He owns a furniture store, so it's just like successful.
I guess he does his own commercials.
Can you get on if you're verified on Twitter? Is that enough credentials?
Is an alcoholic radio producer. Does that?
Do I fall into this?
There
area?
are people who've asked to have their picture taken with you.
Yeah.
Ask for autographs.
That's a good point. They don't check like bank accounts, do they?
First of all,
isn't actually rich.
Chris, just to prove who you are, show him your passport that you carry around all day.
Yeah.
He carries his passport like he's here from Germany.
Here are my papers. Because I lost my ID. I don't know where the fuck it went. I must, I was obviously liquored up.
All right. Now, I know you haven't looked at it yesterday, but remember when you left it out? Yeah. I drew a dick right next to your face.
Oh, come on. I did it.
Underneath
still
that, I put
valid?
me like you did. It's still valid. So I'm going to have to see a dick next to your face before I can be sure that this is you.
It's not real.
So this is the thing for Amy. The movie just comes out.
Yeah.
She breaks up.
Yeah.
It didn't have as big as opening as the last movie. Do you feel like she blamed it on the furniture guy? Maybe if you weren't fucking worried about ottomans all day, you could help me promote this movie.
Jinxed her.
I mean, she said she liked him because he wasn't an industry person. She said he was so far removed from the industry. That's why she liked him. So it could be. It could be.
You think that she's going to go with a non-celebrity next or a celebrity?
I think she's going to do... I think she's going to do non-celebrity. I think that's one thing she liked about him.
I think she'll go back to comedy roots.
I'm going to go the opposite direction. She's going to be with a famous sports star after this.
Oh.
And she's done that before with the wrestler. What wrestler?
She was with Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. Well, she's going to go a little,
Yeah, main event scene.
Roman Reigns?
Mid-Carter.
Maybe Roman Reigns would be perfect.
Samoa Joe.
But I could see her. I mean, it's a very smart way to go. And J-Lo knows this.
Oh, yeah.
Get yourself with a celebrity. Keeps yourself in line. Or wouldn't it be great if she was in a big lesbian relationship after
That would be
this?
great. That'd be really good for her.
Like a J-Law.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh, my God. Because they're buddies, right? Didn't they befriend
right.
each other?
Or maybe she goes older and it's just her and James Woods from this point on.
That'd be amazing.
Opposites attract. I think.
All right, what are you predicting?
Oh, she goes with a giant star. She goes, and I'm thinking
From what world, though? You gotta
film. I say maybe even a director.
Well, a director would be interesting.
That would
for
be
her.
good. Yeah.
Blake Griffin. He's in the comedy world. He's in the sports world. Tall, handsome guy.
I mean, he spent 1 week in the comedy world. I don't know if I would say that he's...
But Dolph Ziggler was a guy who did just like stand up on the side and stuff, and she liked him. So maybe that's what she'd see in Blake.
Maybe Mick Foley could be her way.
That would be nice.
I would, out of all of them, I'd make him dress like Dude Love.
I'll catch you, Jack.
So, does anyone? You're the only one who thinks non-celebrity, right?
I do, yeah.
She just goes with a lunch
Joe
pail.
Schmo.
Yeah,
Yep.
just old ham and egg or a fucking strap hanger. Someone's busking out in fucking subways in Brooklyn.
Doesn't pay taxes. Just.
What if she went for a guy that she's very comfortable with because he opens for her quite a bit? He understands the jokes. What's your next story?
So next,
Mamie's boyfriend.
So they've already announced Ryan Seacrest and Katy Perry for American Idol.
I didn't know Ryan Seacrest was announced.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Or I thought he was maybe rumored. Is he officially announced?
He's definitely returning to American Idol.
Wow. So Kelly Ripa did not get her way again.
She's getting
She never gets her way, except for all the millions and millions of dollars she gets for that 1 hour show.
But they're still talking about who else is going to be on the American Idol panel, and some names are Carrie Underwood.
Love it.
Adam Lambert.
Like it.
And Chris Daughtry, which he's had some controversy.
Don't say it. Why? What did he do?
He's a singer from Daughtry.
No, I know who he is, but what did he do that's controversial?
Just one of the American Idol winners came out and said, I don't understand why Chris Daughtry is on here. He doesn't make sense for the show.
Here's how I would bring Daughtry back, and I think it would excite people if he grows hair.
What about a wig? Would you accept that?
I'll accept the wig. But it has to be glued on. It can't be something he just puts on and walks out in. So Katy Perry,
official.
I do think that I get I think you need somebody from the record industry like they had before, You need somebody who's not just going to be like, oh, you're a wonderful person and I love you. You need somebody to say this is going to sell or this isn't going to sell.
They should bring Tommy Mottola onto the show.
I have no problem with that whatsoever.
I think that'd be great.
I think it would be fantastic. That's the kind of name.
Yeah.
Even though he's a little dated with this, he's not really in the business anymore. He has been. But yeah, to look for, and maybe there's an up-and-comer, you know what I mean? Maybe somebody who's younger than going for a Clive Davis, but...
What about a producer, like a Dr. Luke?
Because I can't trust those guys, because they're, again, you gotta have somebody who's we're putting the money into this, and we're not doing what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What you're doing might sound nice to you and your friends, but I need to sell 1 million fucking copies of this. I'm looking for the next Bay.
Do you have a Bay Hive?
Vito, who are you picking? The Rock again?
No, I would go Piers Morgan because he got Simon Cowell took the spot on America's Got Talent.
Everyone hates Piers Morgan, and he knows nothing about fucking the business. I mean, I would have him on if it was how do you run a fucking English talk show? But Simon Cowell, it wasn't that he was English, it was that he knew the fucking industry.
What about somebody like a Mark Ronson, who has produced pop stuff, but a little bit more cool vibes about him?
Mark Ronson would almost fit the Dog Pound guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's more of that. He's straight music. I want to see a dollars and cents guy in there. I want to see a Dream Breaker. And by the way, I have no plans of watching this show. Just zero plans.
What would I want?
I just want to make all the decisions for everybody. I thought that the show would stay away a little longer. I think, an extra few years would have been better to have. It's people aren't nostalgic or missing it yet.
Yeah, didn't it just happen?
Last year?
Yeah.
Was it 2 years ago, I think?
Yeah, maybe.
They took a year off. All right, let's dish.
So our next story, again, another Scott Disick story. He is now dating Bella Thorne, the girl that I brought up the other day.
Oh, yeah.
She's 19. She's kind of nuts. But he's 33.
I've already forgot her. I'm going to need a pic of Bella Thorne.
She was the Disney... She's just really nuts.
She's from the world of Disney?
Yeah. And I've been watching her series, Famous in Love, which is pretty good.
What is it, though? What's the series about?
It's she's trying to be an actress. She's trying to break into the acting world, and she's a regular girl. And then she has like kind of like these two love interests on the show. So you're trying to figure out who is she going to go with, the regular guy or the actress?
Two love interests should be her own breasts. Now there it looks like she's trying to play Courtney Love.
Yeah, she's got Courtney vibes there.
Yeah. People say she got breast implants.
Now, Scott's wife is who?
Well, not wife. They never got married, but they had a bunch of kids.
What?
Courtney
I did not know that they weren't married.
No, they never got married.
Kourtney
Wow. That's odd, right?
Bible, it's so weird.
Now, Courtney put out this picture of herself on the Instagram.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty spectacular.
It's fantastic.
Side tit. And, I mean, unfortunately, there's zero ass to be shared.
She's, of her sisters, she got two ass sisters, but she's like the top heavy one.
But she's also just adorable.
She's so cute. I love her.
Yeah.
Now, I like this picture because it looks like some kind of a naked runaway situation, and she's getting some rest in the bushes.
She's a feral child.
Now, she's doing this, you think, to taunt Scott, right? To put the naked pictures of herself?
I think so, yeah.
Like, look what you're missing.
Because she just told him on the show that they're completely done. There's no chance of them getting back together. And she seems to be serious this time.
And are the fans happy about that? Do the fans not like him?
He came out saying he's a sex addict, so I feel like they kind of feel bad for him. And both his parents died. So ever since then, I think fans have had a little soft heart for Scott.
Wait a minute, that's Chris Stanley.
Broke Scott Disick. The fuck? I like him. I like that guy.
No matter how much money you make, you'd be broke. That's your thing is not about what you intake; it's your outtake.
As soon as it comes in, it's got to go out.
Yes, you don't like it. It just burns. It burns against you.
Why would I keep it in my pocket?
So this picture makes me feel like he's made a major mistake.
I agree. I mean, she's very foxy. And I was on there and I was looking at some comments. And, like, most people are like, oh, my God, she's hot. Oh, my God, she looks good. But I've noticed a couple people upset at the spinal cord. Some people get very turned off.
Well, that's why she's leaning, though.
I know. But they were thought it was almost reptilian.
Right, but she's not doing. It's only because she's leaning over to protect the rest of her body. She would never be in that position in any kind of bedroom thing.
But I was like, I mean, she looks beautiful. People are like, no.
That's weird.
2 of 10 would not beg.
I'm going to recommend to her that she doesn't read comments. And by the way, Jimmy Fallon said he has stopped reading anything about the comments. He said he used to love it, and now people are just terrible. I think every human being, you don't even have to be famous to I'm not reading the comments.
It's a dark place.
Yeah. It's a dark place for awful fucking meanness.
Disgusting people.
Terrible trolls.
They should change the name of the internet to Troll Town.
I'm up for that.
I don't know whether you guys saw Paste magazine yesterday, but they brought up the Opie and Anthony subreddit. Yeah, there was go to Paste magazine. There's some TV show, and I don't know the guy's name. He's on Comedy Central, but the guy from Comedy Dynamics a couple years ago brought up 3 performers when the iBang was talking to him. Ali Wong, and I'm forgetting the other one. But anyway, 2 made it big, and this guy.
Moshe Kasher.
Yeah. Now, do you guys know who he is?
Yeah, I know him. I think he's married to Natasha Leggero as well.
Really?
Yeah.
His life is fucking great.
Hell yeah.
Love himself.
Wow.
It was Tom Segura. So he says Ali Wong, Tom Segura, and this guy. And then, of course, both of them broke big. And now this guy. So read the headline. It fucking cracked me up.
Obviously, the Opie and Anthony crowd hates problematic with Moshe Kasher.
So when I'm reading this, I'm like, wow, O&A haven't done a show together in years. Why are they still picking on O&A? So I start to read it, and it was the subreddit that they were fucking pissed about.
I had heard someone had said Reddit somebody had done a thing about the worst subreddits, and they just took the amount of times the N-bomb is said, the amount of times cunt is said, whatever, going through all this stuff, and it was the O&A subreddit was number 2 or I'm like, the first one was just like a white supremacist one.
Right.
It was based on negative comments.
But I guess they're very fucking, they're very famous. The Paste would put them on the top. So, all because that they blasted this guy. They didn't like your show. I haven't seen it yet, but this article and that headline, I'm going to make sure that I do watch it. All right, Jen, you got anything else for us?
And my last story is with Bill Cosby. He's come out and said that all of his accusers are racist. Or just the majority of them.
Yeah, the black ones? Them too.
When asked, how he feels, he said, I think that the numbers came because the numbers prior to the numbers didn't work. So the piling on, so to speak, is a way, and certainly an impressive way to get public opinion to come to the other side. So,
people.
It's racism.
Well, we were going to do this Father's Day thing with Bill Cosby, and I brought the name Bill Cosby. We cannot use him.
We're not allowed to use him?
We don't have any of his material in Sirius XM anymore.
Wow.
The guy who wrote the Father's books and did the Father's material and did the Big Father TV show. He's fucked it up so bad that this should be like the victory lap for his life.
Right.
I remember when Seinfeld did that comedian movie, and a whole big part of it was him driving to see Cosby, and Cosby kind of complimenting him, and you could just see how delighted Seinfeld was, like, just to be included with Cosby. That's how big he was. And this is after the Seinfeld show was off the air. He still was looking for Bill's approval. Chris Rock was there. Chris was acting like nobody touches Bill Cosby. And now we got this special coming out, and you can't even grab some of his famous Father's stuff.
Nothing.
I guess after he dies, then you'll be able to say, all right, this bit worked.
Yeah.
Just don't think about latter-day Cosby.
Well, no, it was during. It wasn't.
Oh, good point.
It was his throughout his life.
Yeah.
It's not latter-day Cosby. It's just Cosby.
Yeah. It just never came up until late.
By latter-day, you mean when you found out the truth.
There you go.
I mean, that would be pretty insane if that was like 60 women while he was like an elderly man.
In the 2000s.
I bet he's still doing it, like, every once in a while.
How can you have any Quaaludes left?
There's new kind of drugs. There's always a new drug. Plus, they say Quaaludes, but I'm sure there was some Dilaudid in there as well.
Okay, just something to knock
I'm sure he mixed it up. I'm sure he didn't have Ludes every day.
Probably just, let me throw some Fentanyl patches on.
Slap him on the back and there's a patch there.
That's weird.
I'm getting tired.
Sleep.
You just fucking wake up and there's Bill just fucking taking a fucking piss on your forehead. What are you doing, dude? We were looking at a script.
Slaps on the patch on their forehead.
No one's even knowing what he's, no one even knows what he's doing.
They never said that it was actually like sexual assault. Yeah, they never actually said the specifics because they're all knocked out.
I don't know. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't read a lot about it. The trial's going to come up, but it seems like Trump has knocked Cosby so far off the news. You know what I mean? Nobody can get in the news anymore. If you got a new fucking TV show coming out in September, you're going to have to shoot somebody in the neck to be able to get it the fucking top, above the Trump
That
news.
must be comforting for celebrities with bad press, though. Like, you're just like, just wait 10 minutes. Trump will say something or do something, and we're off the front page.
Yeah, exactly. For all we know, fucking Charlie Sheen is riding around Malibu in a chariot right now with his dick out. No one would even find out about it. Nate in Maine. Nate.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Hop onto YouTube. Check out Groucho Marx hating on a young Bill Cosby.
Now, why was that?
I don't know. He went on Bill Cosby's show and just decimated him.
On his show?
On his show. Bill Cosby had a variety show.
Yeah.
And he brought on Groucho Marx, and he
Please
had
stop playing that
nothing
music.
nice to say.
For the love of Christ. Yeah, but was he joking? Was this like a fun thing?
It didn't seem like it. I mean, it wasn't.
Did you
wasn't
find
just
it, Chris?
goofing.
Yeah, it's 4 minutes long. It's labeled Groucho Rips a Rapist, the new one.
All right, let me just watch it. I got 4 minutes to kill.
Here is my special guest star, Rufus T. Firefly, J. Cleaver Loophole, Dr. Hugo Z. Heckenbush, Captain Jeffrey Spaulding, also known as Mr. Groucho Marx, ladies and gentlemen.
In 1973, when
They're
he was
both
almost
smoking
83,
cigars.
Groucho made his last great variety show appearance. Proving that the master's wit was as sharp as ever, Groucho traded quips with one of comedy's biggest stars.
Oh, it's you. Yes, how are you, Doctor?
Fine.
Nice to see you. You look, have a sit down.
Oh, I'll be glad to. How have you been?
I've just been fine.
Well, what are we going to do now?
I don't know, but I'm just tickled to have you here, and words cannot express how thrilled I am to have you on the show.
Well, a little money wouldn't hurt either.
All right, now.
You smoke cigars, I see, huh?
Yeah, I like them.
Good ones?
Yeah, well, it just mostly comes from the first time I saw you, and I figured, gee whiz, I would like to smoke cigars.
Well, it's a handy thing to have for a comedian. Assuming you are a comedian.
There's one question I wanted to ask you. You've known all of the truly great names in comedy. Now, I mean, how would you classify me?
You?
Yeah.
You'd come right after Nixon. And so would I if I had a chance.
Every one of those jokes in that
There's
session
George
worked.
Slaughter, who we're going to be doing
because he would
tomorrow.
He would listen to the question, and then that mind would click in.
Okay, how would you rate W.C. Fields?
I never speak ill of the dead. Except in your case.
When I met Groucho, I found exactly what I expected. A cantankerous, ornery, salty, amusing, amazing man who took nothing seriously.
Do you believe in life after death?
I have serious doubts about the life before death. The way we're going now. I believe in death during life, and so does everyone watching this show.
Do you have any unfulfilled wish?
Well, yes, I'd like to terminate this interview.
Well, you can't be funnier than that. And of course, it put Cosby down and put Cosby away because everybody had great respect for Cosby at that point, except for Groucho, who had none. And he didn't respect Bill. It bothered Groucho that Bill smoked better cigars than Groucho did. So Groucho, on the way out, copped about a half a dozen of Bill's cigars. and you had to love him.
In 19...
Yeah, I think that was all fun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I would agree.
That's his act. I mean, he used to do it with Cavett and everyone else. So it's to act like he doesn't like the guy, but he came and did the show. It's just the opposite. You know?
Yeah, I think that was clearly a fun-loving.
Yeah, it was fun. Like first of all, if you're that big a star and you're going to come on somebody's show, you're already doing them a favor. And I'm sure Groucho would love it. It's like if you brought Rickles in on your show back then. He was going to act like it was a shit show.
Right.
But then later go, thank you so much. That was fucking great.
Right. I know it's an honor to be roasted by someone who is...
One of your idols?
Yeah.
Forget about it. That's the fucking best. Troy in Canada. Troy.
Hey, Benningtons. How's it going today?
Hey.
Good. So, I don't know, did you listen to the Nick DiPaolo show there yesterday?
Yeah, it's great.
They talked a little bit. They got into, well, not a little bit. They got into the whole Cosby thing, and he actually pulled up a bit on Cosby talking about the Spanish fly.
Yeah, I've seen that bit before, too.
Like, just priceless. So, yeah, that's all I really wanted to say, and I just wanted to, call in and drop that.
That was fantastic, Troy. I'm going to be talking about this tonight. I'll be going out to dinner talking about your
On the lobster boat?
Yeah, I'm going out on the lobster boat. It's just, I hope you don't mind a third wheel, but like the old dating game, I think there should be somebody along with you. Why are you scratching your head with a pen?
There's like it feels like a bump or something on my head.
Oh, please be a brain tumor. Please be a brain tumor.
It would be that bulbous.
Fucking Jiffy Pop head over there, just. How about how long fucking Vito just let the Let's Dance music go? I felt like I was fucking having a stroke after a while. I'm like, is that in my head?
It's a let's dish dance music.
You ever like put something on your computer and then you go do something else and it must be running through things and then suddenly audio comes out and you're just like, what the fuck just happened?
I got woken up from a laptop just blasting in the middle of the night. I'm like, what the fuck? It was like an ad that like started running or whatever, like a bad pop-up. Yeah. And it's like talking about like fucking Alexis or something. What's going on? Why is there fucking commercials playing?
Who did you say this to since you're alone?
I was like thinking.
Yeah. That's really sad.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys see the trailer yet for the Billie Jean King, Bobby Riggs movie?
Yeah,
it was crazy how much they look like them.
Yeah, I was very surprised. Like her especially, I wouldn't have thought that she would have pulled that look off, but she really
was like Billie Jean King. And this, again, there's this love affair that they're having with the 70s. You know what I mean? Like every time you turn around, there's something from the 70s on. But I never thought that I was a Billie Jean King fan. And then one day I'm leaving here, and I'm walking down the street, and Billie Jean King was just standing on the corner talking to somebody. I fucking couldn't believe I was looking at Billie Jean King. It must have been tied in with me being a kid, but I'm like, fuck. That's literally Billie Jean King. She was the first kind of women's tennis star that was like really big. But Bobby Riggs, that was just wrestling.
Yeah,
you know
it was
what I mean?
like a big, it's like a gimmick, like the whole thing.
And everybody fell for it.
Right.
Everybody fell for it.
And she was also, was she the first female athlete to come out as a lesbian? I feel like she was. I know that she's kind of like talked about like as an icon for coming out pretty early, but I think she might have even been the first female athlete to do it.
You might be right. I kind of didn't like her for one reason. They tried to make a professional tennis league, right?
Yeah.
And her city was Philadelphia, and the name of her team was the Philadelphia Freedom. And then Elton John wrote that fucking terrible song. You know what I mean? That went to #1. And I felt like it was about Philly. It was just like humiliating to me. Philadelphia Freedom. And then I fucking really hate it. So I see Elton in Philly, and he plays that song, and the place goes nuts. And then Billie Jean King came out and just started hitting tennis balls into the fucking crowd. Yes. I'm at that fucking show, yeah. And I was just like, everybody else is like dancing around. I'm just sitting there going, I gotta get out of this fucking place somewhere. I gotta go somewhere else. I can't stand it when I just feel like an entire society doesn't fucking understand when something's cheese. You know what I mean?
Just loving it.
Yeah, that's how I feel right now in this fucking country. That's how I feel about the rock thing. It's like, this goes to show you how stupid you guys are.
All right, so the National Review is the cover of The Rock
you
smiling.
Won't stop it.
You have to see it. It doesn't make any sense. The Celebrity We Need is what it's called. The Celebrity We Need, The Rock. I couldn't believe he's on the cover of the fucking National
Can I just ask, did you make up in Rock We Trust? Because I was looking forward to that as being the headline.
Everything you wrote was a lie.
It wasn't a lie.
I was excited about that part.
Oh, okay. The headline inside is The Rock on Which We Stand.
That's totally different.
What I was interested in is they replaced God with Rock. That's why I was like, wow, that is intense.
Vito, what time's your date tonight?
It's supposed to be at 6 p.m.
And you're wearing that?
I'm wearing this nice white linen. Well, it's early because the boat sets sail around 6:30. So I want to get a good spot.
There's no sail on that boat.
Well, you want to get a good spot where? At the picnic table?
Yeah, on the upper deck. I don't want to be one of those peasants in the lower levels where you're just sitting inside. I want to be outside.
Already a peasant.
You're all plus.
Can I tell you what to wear instead of that? We'll go out and get it for you after the show?
Yeah.
Bro Romper.
Oh, a Bro Romper. I saw those. Fun fact, my friend's brother has actually already worn one.
No.
Bullshit.
I have a picture of it.
That's not a fun at all. The iBang has a picture of the Bro Romper, and this is, to me, like a onesie for men, is the way that I would kind of look at it.
It's exactly what it is. It's fucking crazy.
Now, these are models, right? And it makes them look fat.
Yeah.
This is not good for a male body.
It doesn't really make sense.
It looks like your diaper should be loaded if you're fucking wearing that.
That's the problem with it. And I'll say this. Rompers look that way on women, too. Like, they do. And, like, I own a romper, and when I wear it, I feel like I need to be, like, walking around like a little baby. Like,
but do you only wear it inside? You would never wear it?
I'll wear it to like the beach.
Right.
To,
so
like,
over a bathing suit.
Yeah, I would wear it, to the beach, or like I've worn it to like the park because I was going to I'd be out in the sun all day.
Right.
But
I've seen women in them and I like ours. Like it's fucking pretty. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's a very common thing.
Yeah.
It's just not like.
Would you wear this somewhere?
No, I would not wear a Bro Romper. I didn't even think this was real.
Name a price. I'll start a Kickstarter.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Do they come in his size?
What's your price?
To strap on a Bro Romper?
Yes, Chris. Did you ever find the picture of your friend, Vito?
I just sent it to Gail.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
I didn't see. Hold on.
So his friend is actually the guy who started it.
Oh, my God.
Let me see.
And this guy's black. I think he really pulls it off well.
Weird.
So there he is, wearing his onesie. He's kind of got his shirt open.
Yeah, I think that's cheating with the shirt open.
You got to button up. $750. That's my price. Throw me out a Bro Romper.
Now half it. What's that get you?
$375.
Take off the 75.
$300?
That's enough. Come on.
Here's the other thing.
Okay, this is for a photo shoot.
No, it's going to be a video all around Midtown.
Oh, God.
And then you have to end it by shitting and pissing into it.
For $300. Also, you have to buy your own romper. That's your pay.
I'm sure Vito's fucking brother's friend will be able to come up with a triple XL Bro Romper.
Give me one that costs.
Big and tall.
All right, it's dropped down to $2.25.
It's dropping quickly.
Yeah.
This could be the big and tall guy in the lookbook.
Let's do something because now it's $175. You better pull the trigger, dude.
Do it, Chris.
$150.
Fuck. All right. Yes.
If I got you to be the husky model of the Bro Romper, would you do it?
Yes,
sure.
You just say it's fun, though.
Yes.
You tell that fucking friend of yours he's got to come up with $150.
I'll be the fat bro.
You know what? Just get him a regular medium, and he'll fucking get it good as well as he can.
Casual male XL.
Let him know that he will be eating spaghetti in it, so just to say.
And tuna. Get some live reads.
Oh. Let me get started on it right now because this is great. Ring's mission is to make neighborhoods safer. Today, over 1 million people use the amazing Ring video doorbell to help protect their homes. Ring knows home security begins at the front door, but it doesn't end there. So now they're extending that same level of security to the rest of your home with the Ring Floodlight Cam. Just like Ring's amazing doorbell, Floodlight Cam is a motion-activated camera and floodlight that connects right to your phone with HD video and two-way audio that lets you know the moment anyone steps onto your property.
See and speak to visitors, even set off an alarm right from your phone. With Ring's Floodlight Cam, when things go bump in the night, you'll immediately know what it is. Whether you're home or away, the Ring Floodlight Cam lets you keep an eye on your home from anywhere. Ring Floodlight offers the ultimate in home security with high visibility floodlights and a powerful HD camera that puts security in your hands. With Ring, you're always home. Save up to $150 off Ring Security Kit when you go to ring.com/comedy. That's ring.com/comedy. Ring.com/comedy.
He was laughed out of the Institute, but to be fair, he was very funny that day. Hashtag Bennington.
like this is the only song that we sing along with.
Yeah,
The
that's
only
our.
Rejoiner.
I think it's our favorite.
We need a producer who worries about Rejoiner music. Who's coming in, Chris?
Mr. Matt Walsh from Veep and a founder of UCB.
Look, put together a quick parody show that just was like, 'cause I'm on Veep and I'm a weirdo.
Can you do it?
Every Sunday night on HBO now.
Watching Veep.
When I was young, I started UCB. So when is it going to be ready? He's going to be here when?
5 minutes.
All right, have it ready in 4. Who's going to sing it? You, Vito?
Yeah, I could sing. I'm a singer.
Are you?
Can you have this ready in time?
It's going to be a tight crunch.
Yeah, and since it took you 7 weeks to do the other fucking piece, and then didn't tell anybody. That's what I worry about with our team, Gail. Maybe you could help me there.
Yeah.
Is our team, they do work, but then they just don't say that they do it, so it doesn't get on the air.
And if you say it, it can't be to Chris. That's for sure.
We all know there's a log jam. But can I tell you something?
Yeah.
This log jam, this onesie wearing fucking alcoholic, smoker, drug addict, sex addict, gambler.
Yeah.
We need him more than anybody else. This is our MVP.
I know. He is.
Okay.
You're the real MVP.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Is that Veep song done yet, Chris?
That's on Vito, I believe. I'll oversee it.
Can we call him Vipo?
Vipo? Is that song done?
All right, what other big movies has Matt done?
Matt's been in Office Space. Not Office Space, excuse me, Old School. Why did I get that mixed up?
Well, because you're a bad producer. He was in Office Christmas Party. He was in the new Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Children's Hospital League. Hangover. He was Dr. Walsh in that.
Brooklyn
Step
Nine-Nine.
Brothers. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Sweet. But Old School, he did the scenes with Artie Lang, our buddy.
Yes.
Artie looks so young in that. But it is like Old School is longer ago than you think. Like it feels like it's within 10 years, but it's like 15, 16 years.
That's fucking nuts.
It's really weird. Yeah, I think that's the first time I remember seeing him. Although, like, he was Daily Show correspondent after that, right?
Man, that Daily Show, huh?
Yeah, a lot of great people.
And there was an Upright Citizens Brigade TV show in the late 90s that I remember him on.
Oh, yeah,
call.
that's true.
Yeah.
Was Amy on that?
I think so.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was pre-SNL.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to her? I know she had a TV show and some movies. Who all started UCB? Me, Amy, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the other person?
Horatio Sands.
Is that right?
I think he was one of the original UCB people, yeah.
I don't know if he was the original founder. I know he was an early. Maybe you're right.
Maybe he was a foundling. That he was just left outside there in a basket.
That's
I'm not sure.
By the way, I was in a diner the other day, right? And I hear someone order chicken in a basket, a term I haven't heard since I was a child. I don't know why chicken was better in a basket.
Okay.
Because it was sitting on top of the fries. I'm like, oh man, I haven't heard that forever. And then I watch him bring the chicken in the basket and look fucking fantastic.
Is this like a piece of fried chicken, like
Pieces.
with bone? Okay, so this is like tenders?
It's fried chicken
Mm-hmm.
on top of fries in a basket. It was an old school thing that I haven't heard of in a long time. Now you would just get it on a plate.
Yeah.
But the basket made it fucking delicious. I guess because the air came in and out of the basket. But it's always like amazing to me. Like, I haven't heard of that forever and I want it now. Like if someone just says Boston cream pie, you never hear that anymore. And I'm like, fuck, get me one. Give me two.
Kind of fell out of favor.
Some things do. Some things do fall out of favor, but it does. It's just because the world goes on the way that it goes.
Particularly desserts tend to go in like trends. Like a baked Alaska does not exist now.
It's rare to find a good lemon meringue pie. I happen to love them.
I like a lemon meringue pie.
Well, I love the meringues on top of it. I could go on like this, but Matt's right outside, right behind your head right now. Just thinking of old foods that we like as we stall for time.
Maybe he'll want to jump in on this. I don't know.
Is the song ready, Vito?
The song is not ready yet.
I'm on Veep.
I'm a weirdo.
Yeah, I don't want you to sing it. I want you to fucking produce it, dude. Okay, Chris?
Yes.
Do the plug and bring him in.
Matt Walsh is coming in studio. Veep airs Sundays at 10:30 p.m. on HBO, and on Twitter it's at Mr. Matt Walsh.
You know this tune, Matt? You familiar with this song?
Use earphones or no?
Yes, you can use them if you want. I don't use them because I have rock and roll ears. I've been destroyed over the years from being in this business.
I do a half on, half off.
Do you?
Stay a little bit in the real
So you
world.
can hear the room?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't have rock and roll ears, thank God.
Never went to a rock show where the next day you're like, what the hell happened to me?
No.
Yeah.
I went to a few, but I wasn't like a hardcore music
Is that right?
person, no.
All comedy.
Comedy and like softer music, like folk. My stuff was more. I saw some metal, and I saw like Nugent was my first concert.
Yeah, that he's the type of guy that'll kill your ears.
Yeah, yeah, but I've never been.
But you saying folk? Who was growing up?
You're putting me on the spot here.
Yeah.
Like Dylan, of course. Guys like Jules Shear I was into for a while.
This is eclectic.
Dan Fogelberg for a while. Super light, kind of wussy.
So you would know. You were just laid back.
Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, you're a laid back guy.
Laid back. I'm a lyrics forward gentleman.
I feel the same. Like a lot of you brought up metal. I always fight that their lyrics are so terrible. I can't be there for them.
Yeah,
they're silly.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm more lyric for Beatles. They're not folk, but they're softer.
Even with Led Zeppelin, I like it when they do blues. I like when they're acoustic. But the second that they get into wizards and all that shit, I'm like, I can't do this.
You don't like the wizardry?
The darkest depths of Mordor?
Yes, I can't. I come from the land of the Essels. No, you don't, dude. You don't come from any of those places. You make me feel like a weirdo right now. Veep, already people say it's one of the best shows of all time, but it's got to feel that way for you, right?
Well, I don't know. All time, I don't think you can say
all
that.
time, it's
No.
going in there.
Who's saying that?
I think that you're
the Smithsonian. Did we get a decree from the Smithsonian?
Well, yes, I'm giving the decree, but I'm also saying this: the star of that show. You think you can never follow a Seinfeld?
Yes,
she's better now.
She really
better
is
now,
which is so strange and rare.
Yes.
To have that kind of a situation where you have, a huge iconic TV role, not even TV show, but to have an iconic TV role and then to grow out of that is very difficult. Yeah.
She's beautiful too. That helps.
I didn't want to bring that up, but I would say this.
She's a very attractive woman.
Sexier now than when she was Elaine. Sexier now.
And me?
Crazy. You.
Sexier now?
I gotta say this, Matt. You're just.
Because I don't have the mustache.
I've never seen anyone age as fast as she was.
God darn you.
Yeah. But the writing on that show, it's amazing. Everybody gets great lines. It's got to be a blast to do.
It is. It's a tribute to the writing. I mean, the cast is great, and Julia sets the tone. She's amazingly nice and professional and super smart. But the writers are just so greedy for laughs in the best way that they're always giving us alt lines, or they're always trying to pack as many laughs, because it's a very dense show. Like when I watch it, even I have to pause and like check out what just happened.
Well, it was tough for me even to get into it at first because it's like Mammoth, right? That it's happening so fast, and you're like, well, people aren't this quick, and then you have to say, all right, in this universe,
exactly,
everybody is an awful person. Everybody's incredibly fast and witty.
and that has that gruff humor as well. Yeah.
Is it challenging? Do you find the show challenging to watch?
It was at first.
Okay.
And now I'm
so there's like a learning curve to it. Yeah.
So when I first watched the show, I'm like, everyone isn't funny in the world. And then I said, this world.
These people
are. But I think that's true of every great show I ever got into, is that it always takes an episode or two for me to kind of like settle into, okay, this is the way they speak and this is the way things, because you do have to suspend your disbelief.
Yes.
So, I think in a movie it happens quick because you know that you only have a certain amount of time. But with a series, you're like, I'm going to spend a lot of time with these people. Are these the people I want to spend time with? It takes a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's across the board. Every show I've liked.
I remember when Louis' show came on, I'm like, Louis, you're funnier than this. Have some punchlines. Because it took me a little time to catch on that he was doing something different than being as funny as he possibly could.
Right.
Yeah, for me, like, Breaking Bad was so dark. It was almost like, I don't know if I want to watch this, but after a while you get used to it and you're like, oh, okay, I can ride this out.
Right. And then Better Call Saul is more of a comedy.
Yeah.
But that took you a thing of, what are they doing? This doesn't feel like Breaking Bad. Then you had to catch on. But now, I hate Chuck on that show so much that I now hate Michael McKean, who I've loved my whole life.
Yeah.
He is such a good actor that I now despise him. And I feel like I would fight him if I saw him.
This is the real you.
You have to be, you know, this is an actor, you have to be somewhat terrible to be that terrible.
I don't know, like Tim Simons is a very nice person and he plays a jerk.
I find that hard to believe. He's a nice person?
He's a legit, nice, kind, caring person. I think you can be a good actor and not be the a-hole you play.
You know
I'm trying not to swear.
No, you can say it.
Oh, thank fucking God. Thank fucking Lord.
Yeah.
I'm from Veep. We speak in vulgar terms.
But is that always like when you go places you're like, oh, my mom's
I've had a couple times where I've been on friends' radio shows where I accidentally swore and they got in trouble. So it really like stung me and marked me. So every time I get on an interview on a mic, I'm always like, don't swear until you know it's okay to swear.
And that's weird because it's only within like the last 10 years that became okay. Yeah. There was never a time.
There wasn't a place.
Broadcast.
Yeah. But the podcast world
has changed everything.
Yes. You can say anything you want.
I would even say this about the podcast world because I did radio before and after podcasting. And comedians were never that open in an interview situation. They would be tough because they wouldn't want to do their material, and then they would also not want to be not funny. So a lot of stand-up comedians, it was tough to drag through an interview.
Okay.
Now because of podcasting, everybody just goes, I'll go in and tell a terrible story about the time I saw my sister.
Where did you come out of, like your early radio days?
That was in Florida.
Florida.
That was in Tampa.
Did a lot of time down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where Gail was born, and we did radio for a long time. Then we came to New York. In the last couple of years, she started doing radio.
That's awesome, father and daughter.
I don't believe it's ever happened before.
I like it.
It's rare. Yeah.
I mean, you're not dead weight. I was expecting dead weight, I'll be honest. Because nepotism feels like, oh my God.
Well, here's the thing.
I got to deal with this guy's kid.
Yeah. No, that's good. Now it's more of a Michael Corleone type way where I'm sitting in the garden, I'm drinking wine.
And she's going to turn total sociopath?
Yes. You remember about Palazzo, right? Yes.
Fredo.
Yes, Dad, I got it.
Never take sides against the family, Fredo.
Wasn't that that movie? Why is it a movie that you have seen 100 times?
And we'll watch.
And I'll be late for dinner if it's on TV. I'll just say I'm coming. But I got to get through this.
And it's a lot of long, simple shots. Like everything playing in one wide shot. Like it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
It's beautiful. Yeah,
it's stunning movie. But he was. Coppola was just back here for the Tribeca Film Festival and said he wouldn't get to make that movie today.
Why?
They would never greenlight it. He said it doesn't hold up for them. It's not franchise. It doesn't fit in to the things that they need.
It's not like a superhero or it's not fantastic enough?
Yeah, I think that's it. And it's aimed at adults.
It's so hard to think that script wouldn't mean something to someone.
Did you ever go back and read, though, about putting that movie together? And they didn't want Brando. They didn't want Pacino. They wanted Khan in a different role. I mean, everything seems like you would always think that they're like, if you bring something genius, they're going to go, thank you.
Yeah.
Let us know when you're done, and we're going to put up billboards everywhere.
Yeah.
And it never happens for anybody.
Yeah. And it was like real mafia. It was like the first like real.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Hollywood mafia, like Jimmy Cagney.
Yeah.
It was like what The Sopranos did too, like real family mafia stuff.
Yeah, and that was like people forget of like that was a shocking thing.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
They're like, well, do you want to go see the movies with all Italians in it? You know what I mean? Like, ugh.
And they all kill each other. And they all double. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the gun scene in the bathroom. I mean, that's
one of the greatest of all time.
If that's on television, I'm stuck watching that movie. If I happen to see that.
And that thing of like, you don't see for sure Like, you're panicking with him that there's not a gun in there.
Yeah.
Like, please have the gun so you can shoot these unarmed men. Go out, shoot unarmed men, don't, and you're just like, oh, thank God.
Or the guy who plays the Irish cop, like every performance.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're talking old man stuff.
Oh, no, that's all right.
Okay.
I forced her into a lot of films when she was younger.
It was my education.
Yeah.
So.
I kind of forced like the Marx Brothers and some silent films on my kids because they like the comedy, but you have to fast forward through all the dull stuff.
Yeah.
Which we didn't have a fast forward. That was the biggest revelation. Like, I showed them Star Wars, the trilogy, when the new one was coming out 2 years ago. And they were like, Dad, pull up. They were like telling me to rewind, and they were saying, Dad, let's watch the first one. Like, we didn't have it just dawned on me, like, you went to Star Wars in the summer of 77?
77, yeah.
And you couldn't say, like, let's go home and watch the first one, or you couldn't pause it.
Right.
It was eye-opening.
Well, even TV then, if you didn't see Wizard of Oz when it came on, you were waiting a full year to see Wizard of Oz again.
Around Thanksgiving or whatever.
Now, I wonder if that's had anything to do with you, like, wanting to pass on movies to me. Like, you feeling like you didn't have access, and then you're like, we have all this access to watch anything you want.
But I still was in my old like, we've got to see this right now.
Right.
Come in here, I have
like,
a tape of this.
Right. And you're like, I want to watch The Godfather, so we're all, my first words are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
I love her. I love her. When that blew up,
that's a moment that you're like, maybe it'll be different this time when I watch
Wait, Vito, aren't you
car explosion?
Yes. Aren't you married aren't you named after the...
He is, yeah.
I'm named, it was my parents' first date was Godfather Part 2. Their wedding music was the Godfather theme song, and my name is Vito.
He's Upper West Side, born and raised, back when it was a real Italian. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Grandpa immigrated from Italy. We're in the same 5-block radius from when he moved here.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's as far away as you made it. That's 5 blocks.
Yeah, 5 blocks.
Yeah.
All supers.
Who else came from your neighborhood? Didn't a lot of people come out of your neighborhood?
Danny Aiello.
Oh, wow. That's plenty there.
His album cover that he had.
That West End album,
it's
right?
on my block back in the day.
He's an amazing actor, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorites ever.
Yeah.
And again, he could play terrible and then break your heart.
Wasn't he in Moonstruck? Was that the one?
In Moonstruck, he was the brother who lost his chick to his younger brother. It was amazing. He was constantly scratching his head. And he told me that's from his own, like, psoriasis or something when he was a kid. He wanted to give that character something that was...
little business?
Yeah, a little business, but he said that kind of ruined his entire childhood. He was always scratching.
That's funny.
That's a great neighborhood to be from, though.
Yeah, and like I believe Bruce Willis was like a waiter like 2 blocks away from me for years.
What was that restaurant? He was first of all, he wasn't
Columbus?
a waiter, he was a bartender. Yeah, I think it was called the Columbus, and he was this is how different the city has changed. All the stars would go to this place because you didn't have social media. So every night everybody would hang in this one bar, and it was Scorsese and all that. You wanted to be in that bar. And it was Bruce Willis was the young bartender who would jump up on the bar playing their harmonica, and people are like, "This kid's got something." I don't know what to do.
That's how you got exposure back then?
Yeah, you got exposure, but the theater people and the film people were out every night. You know, the comedy people were out every night. I guess that still happens, though, right?
Yeah, but you have a media page now. You can promote yourself. You didn't have to go to one location.
Yeah, that is true. Just having that thing where each person connects directly to their own audience has changed. When you guys were starting UCB, it had to be like tough at first, right?
Yeah, first we had a mailing list.
Right.
Then we had an email list. This is like pre-Facebook and pre-Twitter. And now it's like we have all the social media sites, Instagrams and...
But you don't even have to explain it to people anymore, like what you do. You're a brand name now.
Yeah, we are. People know it. You could say Upright Citizens Brigade. And most people go, oh, yeah, I think I've heard. It's a comedy thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the people that have come out of there
definitely know it.
Is all, but there's so many people who went on to work from that. I don't know.
It is true.
Yeah.
It is true. Yeah. We've had tons of people go on to be very successful. Yes.
What was that picture last year that they did that was kind of loosely based on an improv group where one person...
Oh, yeah.
It was
Don't Think Twice.
Yeah, Don't Think Twice.
I have yet to see that. Mike Birbiglia was a guy who came through UCB, and I actually, when he went to George Washington, one of those schools in D.C., I went there to teach his improv group how to improvise. And I remember he reminded me, I didn't charge him, and he thought that was like the nicest thing. I'm like, when you get successful, teach someone for free, like pay it forward kind of thing. And he reminded me of that. I'm like, oh, I like that I was nice once.
Yes. What is better than having somebody hit and say he was good to me?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it is.
It's the best thing that could happen.
Yes.
But a lot of times they'll just like, that asshole wouldn't let me in, so I started my own thing.
Yes.
And I'm out to destroy him every day.
Yeah.
But what's great about that film that I liked is that one person, you're all friends, and then one person gets picked for SNL, and then you have that thing.
Yeah.
That feeling. Who was the first to break out with you guys?
Well, I guess the four of us, like Amy shot out as a big star. After UCB did 3 seasons, I did The Daily Show, and then Amy went to SNL. But it wasn't, I don't think we were as petty, because I think we've all had individual success.
Yes.
I think that helps, that we're all sort of talented and fortunate to succeed.
And was that something you saw coming? Like you were like, okay, this makes sense?
Yeah,
or was
I
it like
think, no, I think so. I think Amy, being a woman, and super funny, made her special.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Because I think it was, unfortunately rarer, or just not that women aren't as
particularly
funny
as at
that time.
Right.
Yeah, I think so. I think I think that helped. You know,
But getting The Daily Show for you had to be
was huge, because that was. I remember doing my first segment, and they were, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Walsh. Like, it was always UCB, but when you go from UCB to your name, it's like, oh, I have to like hustle on my own now.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. And it was also, when we did UCB, we got to produce, edit, pick directors. We were hands on. And then when you step into like Jon Stewart's show, you're just a hired gun. So that was also like, oh, I'm just here to do this one thing.
Yeah.
That was also an adjustment.
But that was also almost like his time, that when you were on the show, that's when the show really became a big brand itself.
Yeah, he took it over from Craig Kilborn.
Yeah.
And I was there in 2000, 2001. And I was the first correspondent to fly after 9/11.
Is that right?
Yes. They said, you want to travel? Because everyone's like weirded out. I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
Well, people forget that right afterwards you were like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get on a plane again.
It took me like a little while. I think it was maybe like 2 years before.
Well, when you watch a plane go into a building over and over and over and over the way we did, like it's one thing that had happened that day. I didn't think about flying that day, but the shot of that, and how could you not put yourself like, oh, I wonder what that feels like?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And then we were in our theater on 22nd Street, and it was like 2 days later. Remember Letterman did the first show?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, we got to get back to normal. And then I think that night we did our first UCB show, and the weirdest thing was every scene felt like a comment on what just happened, because everybody was still traumatized. So it was weird to watch a comedy show and you say orange, and somehow that reminded you of whatever just happened.
Well, we kind of all forget that, but that went on for
here in New York,
long time.
Well, there was like FBI guys with machine guns everywhere, but it was also quite lovely because everybody in New York was so much nicer.
Yeah, everybody was looking.
Everybody was kind of like, "Yeah, you okay?" Or just with a visual or
and
polite.
like quieter too. Like it was like a little bit more hushed kind of thing that happened, and just a little more gentle the way we dealt with each other.
Communal vibe, whatever that means. It was definitely everybody was like looking out for each other. There was a real sense of that.
And if you made any friendships around that time, you kind of love those people forever. You know what I mean? Because you shared this, thing that you weren't even talking about some days.
Yeah. I remember going up to Hell's Kitchen and my old roommates on the day, and we just sat and talked for 3 hours because you didn't know how to process it.
Yeah.
I remember that day so vividly.
I was doing radio in New York then at WNEW, and we had to go on that night and do it. And like, just as we're starting our show, I don't know, I've done shows forever. We just look around. What the hell do you do? But the weirdest thing is like everybody has memories of shows that I did then, but they all put it as 9/11. But some of those things were months and months later.
Right, because it was just still the conversation, continued for that long.
But I remember going to a rock show probably like the following spring, and it was like Bowie and Wycliffe. It was something to do with the Tribeca Film Festival, as a matter of fact. And the Counting Crows were on, and they were playing, and they covered a Springsteen song, right? And people were just like, I'm like, people are dancing kind of harder than I've seen people dance. And I looked around, and everybody was crying, and this had nothing to do, but it was just this thing of rocking, I'm dancing, I'm alive.
It did linger for like a year.
Long time.
It was like post-traumatic stress for people here. It really did, yeah. I remember everything. I remember the day of, I went to the Daily Show and they shut down.
Yeah.
And then like 2 days later, John had everyone come in and he's like, is everybody okay? And it was very like family, like, all right, we're going to get through this. So there's very special good memories from that. Just like the sort of human connection.
Yeah. But that show was very important to me at the time because, first of all, it really kicked in, I think, during the 2000 elections. It was great. But the fact that it just came back after 9/11 and was just had that really on the point, like you're like, okay, this show's going to last as long as he wants it to last. Yeah. You could tell then.
And very therapeutic, I think, for everyone, too. Like, it was funny and it was smart. And,
yes. And nobody was dissecting the news like that and going after coverage. And he was so great. He was made for that show. He was so great at it.
Now here you are with Veep, which the problem is, are you as
Trump
crazy?
administration?
Yes. Are you as wild as this TV show that I swear to God I watch for hours a day? I did
that last night. I got sucked into the news and I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
We are not as crazy, and it is bizarre, and it's unfortunately, we do laugh at it, but the stakes are much higher. But this year, she's not president, so we're fortunate that we aren't directly compared to the Trump administration. But we'll see what happens next year. Like, we're coming back next year. I don't know what the plot's going to be, but it is crazy. But we are lucky that she's not president. We're sort of emulating the post-presidency years of like Obama now and Clinton and George Bush painting and the library and the fundraising and state funerals.
Out of the bubble is so strange. Gail and I were sitting out the other day and Karl Rove came walking by and he just feels like a guy now. You know what I mean? Like there was one time
he was the Darth Vader.
Yeah, he was Darth Vader.
I mean, like I said, I was like, that's like the villain of my youth. Just walked by and he just like looked like a dude. And I was like, okay. It's just a guy.
We never imagined someone being so terrible as Donald Trump.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. We like George Bush now.
Yeah. After a while, you're like, he's painting cats, and
he was he was decent and he did, he helped AIDS in Africa. Like he was pushing progressive things and we didn't agree with a lot of him, but it was sort of like the conservatives as opposed to the idiots.
Right. It was a whole different world.
Yeah.
Which felt like, at the time, like it was vicious fighting. But to see what's happening now, have you ever met a person who was president at the...
I met Clinton. Yeah. They had a Hillary Clinton birthday party in 98 or 99, and we got to perform at it. And so it was a brief, nice to meet you, Mr. President. And
that buzz around, you can't even explain. You can't explain when the person is president. It's another world.
The funniest thing about that is like there was all these celebrities at this event, and we weren't celebrities. Somebody just hired us because they knew we were funny. And at the end of the event, the first person they evacuated and surrounded with security and got out of the room was Tom Cruise. And then the president. But it was like, let's get the money out first. Let's get the big. Yeah. I thought that was interesting.
Well, that, like, celebrity and Washington, it's funny how more connected it is, where, Trump says that he hates Hollywood, but he's been around Hollywood his entire life.
And he would die for celebrity friends. Yeah. He would die for that.
Yeah.
So wants to be liked by the establishment.
Well, that's always funny about the Republicans, too, is they hate the celebrities until there's a celebrity they like, and then they elect him president or governor or wherever. You know what I mean? They're like, let's run with this. We got one.
But he also turned, we don't have to talk about it. He turns on everyone. He turned on Schwarzenegger. He's like a rat in a cage. He doesn't.
Well, it is true. Look at
you can't have a relationship with a human being like that. He's just awful.
Look at the people who were with him first. Where's Chris Christie now?
Yeah.
Where is Sarah Palin?
He's gonna throw Sean Spicer under the bus soon. I guarantee
he's done.
it. Yeah. Kellyanne gone. Like
that's the ruthlessness that probably worked in the New York real estate game, which I can't imagine being in the New York real estate game for that many years. I mean, it's
brutal.
Yeah, I mean, it's just nuts. Just getting an apartment in this town and seeing how many times they try to rip you off by the time you move in.
Yeah. Yeah, getting something built must be difficult. Yeah.
I can't imagine. And a lot of times you'll see them you'll see a business is doing good, and they're like, oh, they're out of business here. And then you'll notice that the whole building is dark, but then it's like 10 years before they finally replace that building with a giant skyscraper, and you're like, they have this kind of tenacity.
Yeah.
They know that the money's at the end, that they're just going to get rid of each person in that building and then finally build this giant thing into the air.
Yeah.
It's not that it's, and I guess everybody in New York has always said this for the history of New York, but it's not the same New York. Whatever time that you got here is like your version of the perfect New York.
I got here in 96 and they were just shutting down 42nd Street. And that was real nostalgia for the gritty Times Square smut. And they pushed all the transvestites from like 7th Avenue to 8th to 9th to 10th. And I was living on 9th right over there in Hell's Kitchen. And everybody was nostalgic for the old days because Giuliani was making everything Disneyfied, or supposedly.
Mm-hmm. And at the time they're saying this is Disneyfied. I'm like, I'm not kind of feeling it. It still seems a little edgy to me. I've got small children with me, but yeah, I was here at different times in the 80s when Hell's Kitchen would have been an insane thought to walk down. You know, like you're on Broadway, and I remember making a right and just grab my chick saying, like, let's just back up off this street. And it was probably right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was probably 50th.
I went to high school in Hell's Kitchen, and I remember that you said, like, I can't tell you how weird it is that I'm sending you to high school in Hell's Kitchen. That would have made no sense.
Yeah, I live right between 45th and 46th on 9th Avenue, right in the heart of Hell's Kitchen. But it was fine.
Yeah.
In 96 when I landed, it was pretty much fine. It was still a little dicey, but it was pretty fine.
Yeah. And that neighborhood it's changed. Oh. But there's still buildings where you're like, this is...
like
my old apartment building is still there.
Yeah.
That's great.
There were still hangers-on in that neighborhood, old characters.
Yeah.
There's some light corner girl work late at night.
Yeah. Well,
but
what's
not
cool
like the
about
way...
9th Avenue is we could get on our roof. It was like a 6-story, and then you look towards Times Square, and it was like a cliff. Like 9th Avenue was still pretty short, or back then it was. Yeah. And then when you saw 8th, it was like straight up. Like, that's where the skyscraper wall started.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to be up there and see it.
That's cool.
That's great. And you had the roof pretty much.
We had rooftop.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to get up there.
And, you know, being young and starting something new, that must have been an amazing time.
It was. The New York comedy scene was really, like, the alt comedy scene. Like, people like Janine and David Cross had sort of, Mark Maron had sort of, Louis, Zach Galifianakis had sort of started showing up at this place called Luna Lounge down the Lower East Side. And then we landed and that show was up and running. And we just it was kind of like the diner you talk about. If you were a comedian, you had to plug into that show or that scene to make a name for yourself. So we landed and got a slot and just kept doing that show every night and then made a name for ourselves on that stage.
I always think it's amazing, and nothing is in a vacuum, right? You always need a scene. Yeah. There's people that you think of that do all different jobs to make that scene work, and then people hang around, and then you mature out of that into something else. But you need that sense of community very early on.
You know, it's funny, a friend of mine and I made a documentary about that scene, just like a low-budget student film, basically, that she just contacted me recently and said she found it. So I'm curious to look at it.
Dude.
It's just pictures of everybody who appeared, and we did a night of 100 stars, and everybody got a minute. Wow. So it's like a document of a brief moment, and probably 98, of like just a photograph of everybody that was running around.
Dude, if you want to do something with that, we'll help you promote it here.
I have to find it first. Yeah. She's going to send it to me, but I will. I'll get a hold of you.
But even if we just do it online, because I think that kind of stuff is...
It's interesting.
Yes, and there's so many people now. First of all, there's people that would want to see it because they love comedy and stuff like that. But there's also young people that could use that blueprint of like, I know this feels chaotic, but this is how this stuff cooks.
Yeah.
This is where it comes from.
Yeah, that's true. It is fun to see that stuff. I mean, I love old Hollywood, old stand-up. Like, you hear stories about Seinfeld and Larry David at the diner. Like, I love that stuff.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm doing something with George Slaughter talking about the 50 years now of Laugh-In. And that was a scene that those people all became giant stars at. And then Lorne was one of the writers, and Lorne was like, in the back of his mind was like, how could that show work now? What could make it hip, or what could make it better? You know? And that's kind of where that came from, that he never gave up on his own variety show. But there's a million types
Well, I just did this movie about the Lampoon that David Wayne directed.
Yeah, I read the book.
Yes, I play a guy named Matty Simmons who was the grown-up. He was like
he was the
executive.
Yeah, he was the business guy.
But all those like Lampoon guys kind of got picked off by Lorne, and he kind of took what they were doing and made his own TV show from it.
He grabbed the Lampoon guys and he grabbed the Second City guys, and he pulled them together. If you ever go back, there was a show, I think it's on an album called Lemmings, that was the Lampoon guys did. It was Christopher Guest, it was Belushi, Chevy Chase,
Gilda.
And they were amazing. And they're just doing this down in the Village. I mean, it wasn't, again, you look back on it and they were in their 20s too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was at the Village Gate.
Yeah, the Village Gate.
And then that's where they had the premiere party for Animal House.
That's crazy, right? Which would just been a few years after, 5 years
so they had
after.
this little live stage show. Then they started doing Lampoon. We sound old to you?
No.
Your father and
I've turned it on to Lampoon Radio before.
But they started with this little magazine, and then they did Lampoon Radio, and then they made a movie, and they returned to the Village Gate. It was a very, perfect circle of, we did it.
When's that movie coming out?
It's a Netflix thing, so I think it's coming out probably by the end of this year, but I don't know when.
Yeah, I read that book, and it was insane. Once again, just the number of names that were there as kids. And
John Hughes was a Lampoon
John
guy.
Hughes was, P.J. O'Rourke was a writer for Lampoon. And the fact that they took a little newspaper and then turned it into, hey, we could do stage shows. Let's get some actors. We could do radio. Let's get that. They did everything but the TV show.
Yes.
Big mistake.
And I think they were offered, I think Matty Simmons was offered a TV special through ABC or something, and he turned it down.
Yeah.
So right around the same time that SNL was breaking, or before that, he was offered that moment.
Dude, this was so much fun.
Yeah.
Veep, everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. And you've got an extra year. And you don't know when this Netflix is.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to plug my podcast.
Sure.
UCB Sports and Leisure.
And that's where you guys are.
I just get improvisers out in LA, and we just impersonate celebrities and talk about sports topics or leisure topics.
That's great, man.
So,
all right. See you next time coming through.
Thank you.
It's the Bennington Show. Enjoying a nice ice cream social today.
Why we listen to that? Excuse me, Chris.
Oh my God. It's like a bull in a china shop in here.
Yeah, that's be actually even a bull in China. By the way, I love that song.
It's always great. And it's great to get ice cream too.
And we're having her on our volume show whenever that happens.
Yes.
Perfect song.
Very good episode.
Well, this song actually comes up. I was talking about it.
Got everything set up? Clicky?
Almost.
Kind of annoying,
I know, he's very close to us.
I don't want to be this close.
Can't all that stuff happen during the 17 minutes of commercials? Jen, did you get your ice cream social?
I got it, yeah.
But you got the ice cream, but you didn't get to socialize.
That's true.
It's all about the socializing. We went
Who
out
you got back there with you now?
Lauren and Vito.
Tell Vito to take over if you want to go down and socialize.
No, I mean, it's till 4. Still have a little time.
All right, but, ice cream is one thing. Socializing, though, that's to me.
They're definitely going to be out of the American dream, so.
By the way, Vito, you think fucking 2 teaspoons is going to make me and Chris Stanley forget our problems? You know what I'm saying, right?
Dainty.
Is it going to look bad if you make a second run?
That was a thimble full of ice cream.
I know.
I can't hear you.
Yes, you can't hear because you're fucking out of touch with the world. We were saying
your mic was on.
2 thimbles for me and fucking Chris is not going to make us forget our problems.
I can go back there. I can get some more.
That's the thing that you should have been in your head first.
All right.
Bring your own cup. Bring your own cup.
Bring a giant bowl.
You guys want cones?
No, I can't crunch around a cone on. Get me, go.
Same flavor?
I'm good. Don't
flavor.
give me
I'm
any
not going to
more.
switch up flavors. Chris, you staying with fish food?
I'm a fish food guy.
What's in fish food, by the way?
I think marshmallow and some chocolate fish.
I don't like marshmallow.
I like marshmallow in the ice cream.
I like marshmallow as its own thing, but adding marshmallow? Fuck you.
Really?
Not eating it. Yeah.
That much. I fucking love it.
My favorite kind of ice cream as a kid was called Smurf ice cream, and it was blueberry. I don't know where. You can't really get it anywhere else.
One of those shits. Smurfs were big then.
But it was like blue ice cream with marshmallows mixed in.
There it is.
And I was obsessed with it.
Who made
and then
it, Chris?
I think Carvel made it. Maybe that's where I had it. I mean, maybe other people
it does look like Blue Fuzzy the Whale.
But I will say that I looked into it because I was like, there's got to be somewhere to get this ice cream. Because I haven't had the taste of it since I was little kid, like 4 years old. And apparently there is, I wish I could remember where it is. I think it's somewhere in the Midwest. It's called Blue Moon ice cream, and it's that same exact thing. And it's super popular there and doesn't exist anywhere else. So,
Blue Moon ice cream.
Blue Moon ice
like
cream.
In Chicago is popular.
It's Chicago?
Yeah.
Windy City?
Yeah, the Windy City.
Second city?
Yeah.
Hog Butcher to the world, the city with the big shoulders, that toddling town, my kind of town, chicken in the car won't go. Chicago, town of 1 million fucking... Anyway, the point is this, Chicago has it.
Yes, it's a Midwest thing that doesn't exist anywhere else, and I'm dying to try it, because I think it's pretty much the same thing as the Smurf ice cream.
I got news for you. I think we should go do some shows out of Chicago.
I would like to do that. Go see Janice.
I would love to spend a little Janice time.
Me too.
Also, I want to see if the Cubs are the real deal like they were last year. Another thing I want to do, look into this deep dish pizza. How deep is it? Where'd they get the dish from?
Guess what we're doing for dessert? Blue Moon ice cream.
Blue Moon all the way.
Got it.
Dude, I had an idea for an ice cream flavor that I want to know, does this exist anywhere? Okay, this isn't even an ice cream flavor. It's like an icy, like an Italian ice kind of flavor, so no cream in it. Is there such a thing as black coffee ice cream? So it's no cream, just the way black coffee tastes. It could still be sweet, but it's like an icy.
I think that they don't make it because nobody would drink it.
I think people would be into it.
Vito, did they say, why are you back there so soon? Were they acting like you're a piglet?
Yeah, the line was long too, and I didn't want to wait, so I said it was an emergency, and I asked if I could get ice cream and ran away.
Emergency?
You have no shame.
I said broadcast emergency.
Good.
And they said, what channel? And I yelled 73, and I ran away.
You said all of them.
Smart.
This is a test.
So 73. Some shit's going to go down.
Say there's celebrities lined up. Black coffee ice cream? No, never heard of it.
I think it could be delicious. So it's an icy, no cream based, coffee flavored, and sweet. So it tastes like sweet black coffee.
I've never even heard of like an iced tea. Lemon ice.
It seems like there should be. Looks like we're getting in the icy business.
I think there's been tea.
You hear that, America?
We're in the icy business.
Did Matt call back yet about that film?
Not that I've seen, no.
You seem like the worst.
Took a big bite.
You seem like the worst producer.
I'm going to be on it. This marshmallow is great.
You're not eating ice cream? You're just saving yourself for
I
tonight?
left mine outside.
Go get it. Run and get it.
Go get it.
I worry about him. He's got a big date tonight.
Yeah.
Don't feel about it.
I hope he gets vanilla, not anything that's going to stain that shirt.
I'm going to throw some of these fudge pieces out.
That'll be great.
Which one did you do?
I did the Americone Dream.
Oh,
The
twinsies.
Americone Dream. He's just a common man. I call this the Dusty Roads, not the Rocky Roads.
I like that.
Good.
This is 2 scoops, by the way, now. At least according to them, it's 2 scoops.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
it's 2 teaspoons. Hey, Mike, you know all about this blue moon, huh?
Yeah, this is Mike from Milwaukee. First of all, love the show, guys. Thank you so much.
It's great.
But the Blue Moon is kind of like a big Midwestern thing, Milwaukee and Chicago, Northern Illinois. And it's an almond-flavored, basically, ice cream. And they also have another one that's called Kryptonite, which is green with Pop Rocks, but it's also almond-flavored. Same flavor. My kids absolutely love it. And it's like the only place that we can get it is up here. I don't know what the deal is. I'm sure it's just almond ice cream with blue food dye.
I never heard of it before, Blue Moon. Never.
It really is cool if you get a chance. It's a lot of fun. The kids love it.
How do I get it here? That's what I need. I need to be able to get it here.
I'm going to tell you something. I wouldn't mind being out in Wisconsin this summer. I love it out there.
Oh, yeah?
I've been there
You
years.
guys are more than welcome. You are awesome. I'll let you go. Thank you for taking my call.
Take care, my friend. I'll see you this summer, later on.
Stock up on the Blue Moon, please.
I'll just Instagram me eating kryptonite and blue moons.
I'm not sure I'm as into the kryptonite idea.
You're making a mistake.
Pop rocks? Come on.
Then you must be Supergirl if you're afraid of kryptonite.
The emphasis on must makes it sound like you already had a suspicion before this.
Yeah.
So you must be Supergirl.
It's the way you take your glasses off before you start flying. That made me think something's weird here. What's the story with Conan? I see it up there on the iBang.
He gets 4 more years on TBS.
4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years.
Oh.
What?
You say Chris is queers?
Never.
Oh, good.
That's homophobic.
All right.
Being queer is a good thing.
Okay.
We're here, we're queer.
Get used to it.
Get Jews to it. You know?
Yeah.
Fucking Jews.
Jen, dump out of that.
Dump out of it, Jen. Look, you're not even looking at it. You made a new friend today, huh?
Yeah, I like her.
It looks like you're out by 2 now.
Yeah, I have no friends. I have no friends.
Welcome to my world, Gail.
I don't want to be in your world. I don't want to be.
You're just another antisocial weirdo.
I'm really not. I'm going to the ice cream social. I'm trying to make
Chris
friends.
is at the ice cream antisocial where he sits by himself with his back to everybody and eats out of a bucket. Hey, what happened to one of our buckets? Who's that guy?
Don't talk to me.
No, Chris.
I was at the Dunkin' Donuts in my neighborhood. It's the only place that's open 24 hours.
Yeah.
So I get, like, when I come in at like 4 or 5 in the morning, I go there to buy some Dunkin' Donuts breakfast sandwiches, plural. It's because I'm all whacked out.
They say the best thing to do is eat right before you go to sleep. That's for the digestion.
Yeah, it's good for the digestion. I agree.
And apparently, I stole an entire ice cream cake the other night.
What? Chris?
I remember. All right, so
Wait.
I wake up next day. Hold on. I wake up the next day and I come out to my living room, and there's a plate with a knife and just like frosting on it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What was I eating? What was going on? First I thought it was butter, but then I tasted it. It was frosting.
It's sort of getting gross.
And then I go to my kitchen and I open up the freezer and there's half a fucking ice cream cake in there. And then it came back to me. It was like a brownout type thing. Where I ordered whatever the fuck I ordered from Dunkin' Donuts, and then I remember them going into the back to like clean or something, because it's 5 in the morning. I'm the only person in there. And then I turn around and the freezer with the ice cream cakes are right there. So I just opened, it was like $22 for a fucking ice cream cake. I didn't want to pay that. So I just opened up the freezer, grab an ice cream cake and run out of the fucking Dunkin' Donuts.
This is so crazy. You're an adult man. You can't do this. This is teenager
It's
games.
in your neighborhood, right?
I walk by it every single day. It's right next to the
You're
train
on
station.
fucking tape there. They want to go back and look at the tapes.
Of course they will.
Imagine you turned on New York 1 and you saw like the ice cream bed. It's the story.
Fudgy the whale thief.
Or just Fudgy the whale.
Fudgy the
Whale steals whale.
Oh, come on.
Whale steals whale.
A whale of a tail.
It was a
Look, there's Chris Christie going to bat right now, saying it's difficult to prove obstruction of justice.
He's back being his buddy. He's
He'll do whatever he needs him. He's there.
Was he just in front of an NJ Transit bus?
Yeah.
That's what he does now. He's a mechanic for them.
He's trying to get the reboot of the Honeymooners going with him. I can't even fucking stand the news.
No. Just look
Can't
away.
stand the news. I don't even call it the news anymore. I call it the Trumps. And sometimes I go, Trump, it is. Trump, it is. But you guys would know this if you played Bennington Barometer. And go ahead. You run in.
Get paddles.
Yeah, get the paddles.
Just make everything nice.
Oh my God, he's running down the fucking hall. I thought he was going to turn it on.
I mean, we could just do old school. I could have did A or B.
Why is he so fucking insane?
I think it's autism, and it's the dates got him worried.
Dude,
what, May 17th? That has him scared?
I can't believe you're judging him after telling us of your petty theft.
Oh, whatever. That was outside of work hours.
Yeah, this was really funny, though. I just want to point this out. So you're hungry for breakfast sandwiches. Yeah. You end up eating half an ice cream cake and go to bed. Yeah. That's a totally different experience.
So does that mean
we didn't need the
did you gave up the...
Oh, no, I ate the breakfast sandwiches.
So
and
wait.
Then for dessert, I had half an ice cream cake.
Well, where'd you get the breakfast?
From the Dunkin' Donuts.
I thought they walked in the back.
To make them.
After I ordered them and they finished my order and I paid for it, they walked into the back. And after they walk into the back, I have my bag of fucking breakfast sandwiches. And then I open up the freezer and take a fucking ice cream cake and get the fuck out of there.
That is so embarrassing.
Let's
and
get
weird.
to the bottom of this. You're drunk off your ass.
Fucking shithouse.
You're seeing 5 o'clock from the wrong side. It's 5 a.m. You're getting it from the wrong side.
Yeah.
And you eat 2 breakfast sandwiches and half an ice cream cake.
I think I had a bagel, too.
And a bagel.
I'm pretty sure I order a bagel every time I'm really whacked. Like, I know it's a bad night if there's like a fucking Dunkin' Donuts bag on my fucking floor.
You know it's a bad night if you're home.
Because I don't fucking, like, when you're fucking that whacked, it just doesn't matter.
You know what his fucking home must look like his shirt.
Oh my God.
What was really confusing was the ice cream cake. Never done that before.
Gail sent me the cutest picture last night of you got like a new rug for your apartment. Now, Gail has this Brooklyn apartment with like real hardwood floors, just those great hardwood floors that are just what you want in the city, but you wanted a little like rug.
Yes. Make it a little homey.
Mm-hmm.
Give a little space to it, okay. Make it fancy. So, the rug arrived yesterday, and I took a picture and sent it over to you.
And this is her dog. Look how happy the dog is on the new rug.
As we were unrolling it, she was jumping up and licking me and being like, acting like it was hers because she thinks it's a giant dog bed because we've had nothing but hardwood floors since we've had her.
So she was like, literally, I can't believe you finally got this for me.
She's like, this is it's my dog bed, but bigger. It takes up half the living room. This is incredible.
Now, why would a dog even know what a rug is and know that a rug is comfortable, right?
She loves, not only does she likes anything soft, but I've never seen this. I'm sure other people have dogs who do this, but I've never been around. She loves pillows and she needs like a little prop up for her head. So she'll like use the pillows on the couch or she'll fluff her like plushy kind of toys and use them as pillows.
I always say, I'm going to relate to her because I can't sleep without a pillow. You know what I mean?
Can't sleep with.
You can't sleep with a pillow.
What?
Mm-mm.
You can't put anything under your head.
I have like a small blanket that sometimes I kind of bunch near me, but a pillow is just too big and firm and it hurts my neck.
Yes, fantastic.
So I can use something like either like a small blanket or like if I'm in a hotel and I don't have my little blanket with me, I'll just ball up a hoodie because it's small.
That's what homeless people do, Gail.
Yeah. But I'll tell you this, I would sleep on nothing but pillows.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Pillow bed?
Yes.
Now if it was an entire bed made out of pillows, I'd be fine.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like a basket of pillows, I could climb in that basket and sleep like a baby. Whoa, that went out. That went out hard. Hey, whatever happened to our bug jewelry too? We were going to be set.
I know. I haven't heard anything about, but she does have our address. So
either that or Stanley hasn't picked it up.
I'm gonna call down to the
Vito. I want you to be in charge of mail now.
Yeah.
Make it a daily thing.
I want to check in with them every day. Go up to the 37th floor. Go talk to them.
Thank you.
I'm going to call you the Daily Mail.
I like that.
MALE or MAIL?
Both.
Mm-hmm. Both.
No. All right. Let's play Bennington Barometer.
So I have one that has been sent in.
From who?
This is from Larry from Yonkers.
Oh, by the way, they were in with their baby the other night at the stand.
How did that go?
Wonderful. The baby got some of the jokes, some of them she just seemed like she got them, but she didn't enjoy them. That's a whole new generation, And my stuff is old school. I'm like, hey, these Polacks.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be over her head.
I'm politically incorrect.
I feel a little jealous because I haven't met her yet, and I feel like you've met her like twice, maybe even 3 times.
Yeah.
I'd really like the chance to meet her.
Well, you got to get out a little bit.
I know,
You know
got to get out there. She's more social than I am.
You got to meet some people.
I thought maybe she'd be at the ice cream socials. That didn't work out. All right.
Well, this was the Bennington Barometer. I hope you enjoyed it.
All right, Bennington Barometer. This is sent to us from Larry in Yonkers. This is crab cake versus lobster roll. These are northeastern traditions. One from Maryland, where your people are
My
currently.
people are now.
The lobster roll, which we know you delight in.
That's it. That's where he went for that. I really thought it was going to have something to do with authors. Grew up on the crab cake, the Maryland crab cake. So I am more excited about a newfangled lobster roll, which I did not grow up with. So I've taken lobster roll.
I thought you were going to stay true to the crab cake.
If you knew me very well, Gail, like you act like you do, you know that you've always liked crab cakes more than me, your mom, your brother, all of you. I'm kind of like, oh yeah, crab cake. But I don't crave a crab cake.
You don't think about it the same way.
I enjoy a crab cake, but I never crave one. A lobster roll, I'll go like this. Hey, let's go out for a lobster roll.
However, I will say your mother makes the world's best crab cake.
I know.
There is no better crab cake.
That's part of my problem, that if I don't eat it there, I don't think it's as good.
Right.
So there's a couple.
Just like a regular restaurant crab cake.
I'm not
is
as
gonna-
crazy about it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a very good call. Hers are much more crabby than cakey.
Yes. No filling. No filling.
Yeah.
That's how you
None
know
of the
a good
bullshit
one.
filling.
All right.
Bennington Barometer.
Bennington Barometer.
Bennington Barometer.
Bob Fonseca's Bennington Barometer.
Jeez, Bob. It's crazy.
I have a Bennington Barometer.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Apocalypse Now or Full Metal Jacket?
This is a tougher one for me.
That's right.
Both of these films share one thing in common. You know what it is, Chris?
The Vietnam War?
The first part of it is much better than the second parts.
I'm not talking about Apocalypse Now Redux. I'm talking about the original theatrical version.
Yes. Which, unlike you, Chris, I did see in a theater.
I wish I could have.
Came back to a place and a friend of mine said, worst movie I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, despised it. And this was a guy who had been in the military during that time, and this is all bullshit. I go, yeah, obviously it's like an acid trip down the river. Then he saw what's his name? What was the second one?
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, Full Metal Jacket, because I'm going to call it The Short Timers, like the book. He saw Full Metal Jacket, hung himself with his own belt.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Triggered.
I have made my decision.
Okay.
I am picking Apocalypse Now.
God damn it.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Mismatch.
Why did you guys think Full Metal Jacket?
I thought that, I remember, we talked about it before, you said you were coming around in the second part.
I am.
That's why I had a feeling, that's why I went in that direction.
I still hate fucking, what's his name, the mother or whatever.
Animal Mother.
Fucking hate his guts. Not just as an actor, but as a person. All right, let's go on to the next.
The next Bennington Barometer.
Vito didn't get a chance to give me one.
Okay.
All right, if you're going out for a meal.
I don't like that he doesn't get it. No, he's done. You don't do it. You're going out for a meal or if you're watching TV. You give me the barometer. Bob set this up specifically. Every syllable counts in this. So, Gail?
All right, Bennington Barometer.
And by the way, you're working tonight. I just decided, Vito.
Okay.
Look how nervous he looked. The Bennington Barometer.
Ali Wong or Maria Bamford. Two breakout female comics, huge specials through last year. Ali Wong, Maria Bamford.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say this. I really feel like it's cheating to make me pick between two unmasked people, or you know what I mean? Like that is it's dastardly. But the fact of the matter is, Maria Bamford has discussed her mental problems. Therefore, I can't have babies with her. So it's Ali Wong. God damn it. What did you take?
Ali Wong.
I took Bamford.
Vito?
I also went Bamford.
See, because we just done that thing recently.
That could be why. But I was thinking about how floored you were when Allie's special came out.
Unbelievable.
Like, that was a pretty shocking thing where you're like, you completely just know this person from the first time. And it was like a fucking breakout. It was crazy.
I should have thought of that.
John in Tennessee.
Hey, Bennington Barometer.
Good.
Florida Gulf Coast or Florida East Coast, Atlantic Ocean?
Well, East Coast girls are hip. I really dig the styles they wear. But it is amazing how different the two coasts of Florida are.
Yes.
And I lived on the Gulf Coast for many, many years. And it's, it's a uniquely pretty body of water. But on the weekends, I would drive across the state to the Atlantic coast because that's where the waves are. That's where the cold weather is. And that's where I worked for NASA for many, many years.
What?
Yeah. It was my job to put the tiles on the space shuttle. And I think I did a damn good job most of the time. So I'm going to pick the Atlantic coast.
Oh, wow. I got it right. But I was like, I thought that was a risk.
It is a risk. Jen, you didn't even bother voting. Huh?
What would you have thought?
Because she lived in the middle of the state.
Yeah.
But if you were going to go away for the weekend, did you drive the Atlantic or did you drive to the Gulf?
I would say Atlantic.
Yeah. That's the smart deal.
Yeah.
David in Tennessee, Bennington Barometer.
Bennington Barometer.
Bennington Barometer.
Bennington Barometer.
Bull Durham or Field of Dreams?
Oh, this is a really good one. It's Kevin Costner made 3 baseball movies. There's only 2 of them to talk about. Field of Dreams or Bull Durham. Field of Dreams is the only film that I saw in the theater with my dad my entire life. We went and saw that movie together. And it was, of course, about fathers and sons. That movie came out, like 25 years ago? That's how long ago I was thinking, well, I'm not going to have much time with my dad. I better make sure I have some memories. 25 years later, still dealing with it. So it's easy for me to say Bull Durham, which I consider one of the great baseball films of all time.
I just want to get...
You went Field of Dreams?
I went Field of Dreams.
Based on what?
One, I thought maybe you liked the Sox and you thought you liked the Shoeless Joe Jackson original book.
Yeah, I did. But you know what? One is about baseball and loving baseball, and the other is about some spiritual thing. By the way, remember when you did Phillies Eagles with me? It's been haunting me ever since. I might be leaning back to Phil's.
Yeah.
If I ever have the chance to replay that, I would. Out of all the Bennington Barometers.
That's the one that's like kind of bugged you the most?
Yeah, it bugs me. I feel like I've attacked baseball itself. Football doesn't need me.
They go on without you.
What did you pick, Chris?
I picked Field of Dreams.
Why?
Because I guess I just don't know you, and I can't remember the last Bennington Barometer I got fucking right. Feeling bad about myself.
I think that was an easy one. I can't remember what it was.
It might have been one of the first ones.
All right,
Yeah.
Bennington Barometer.
Bennington Barometer.
Bennington Barometer.
Seinfeld or Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Curb is a more original show. Seinfeld was the big hit show. I'm more likely to re-watch a Seinfeld than I am a Curb. Yet, I think I like the fact that Curb is more upfront. I'm going to pick Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I went Seinfeld.
Oh. I went Curb, but I guess I have the wrong letter.
Oh, he did. You went Curb also.
Yes, that's the only recognizable show that I would pick.
You've never seen Seinfeld?
No, I've never seen Seinfeld.
What?
No.
Not a full episode, like little like clips here and there, but I've never seen like.
I never liked it.
I never caught on to it.
I'm
never could relate
fascinated by this.
I guess because when it came out, I was like young, and like my parents never watched it, and I couldn't really relate to it, so I never really watched like a full episode.
But I would
love
imagine
this story.
This is really fascinating. But I would have bet that it has more to do with you not being able to relate to it, because you and Vito are about the same age,
Yeah,
and
but he
Vito
was a New Yorker. I mean, I was like
Vito lives in the neighborhood that Seinfeld is shot in. Well, they say he was really all shot in L.A.
Yeah.
Right.
My friend lives by Tom's Diner, though. That was always fun.
Actually, Tom's Diner is a pretty good diner.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Just exteriors, really. Over there.
It's fun when you see the exterior diner in different sitcoms, and you're like, I know the real name of that place. Like on Rules
I don't know
of
why
Engagement.
they just didn't use Tom's. I don't know why they had to say Monks. Tom's would have probably signed it away for $1. And when you go in there, there's still just tons of Seinfeld pictures. Mike in Chicago. Mike.
Great, Bennington Barometer.
Bennington Barometer.
Bennington Barometer.
Bennington Barometer.
Rushmore or Royal Tenenbaums?
We did this on the air the other day.
I think
didn't
we did do
Or
this
did we do
one.
this at our house?
Oh, I think actually, that's what we did. We did it
this
on Mother's Day. We played Bennington Barometer on Mother's Day.
And you and I disagreed on this.
Yes.
Well, we did Bennington Barometer where we all pick.
We allowed all of us to pick because
Bob has
technically
changed
all
our family.
Benningtons.
Yeah. Bob has changed our lives in ways that he'll never know.
He'll never know this became a family thing. But yeah, we both picked opposite ones. So what do you think, Chris? Which one picked which?
I think Ron picked Rushmore, Gail picked Royal Tenenbaums.
You literally went the opposite.
Yes.
How can I get it wrong every time?
I don't know.
I picked Rushmore and he picked Tenenbaums.
It should be impossible.
And, that's a tough pick between the two of them.
It's not
anyway.
easy.
Because both of us felt like, the other film is just as good. It was just more of a personal thing.
It was based more on a personal preference. But you couldn't say because one is better than the other.
Does he got anything new coming out?
I
haven't heard about anything.
No.
Last was probably Budapest Hotel.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Like normally by this time you would have heard rumors of him working on something else.
Jim and Yonkers. Jim.
Hello, Benningtons and hangers-on. 2 movies about the media, Facing the Crowd or Network?
This is a great, great question.
I know.
Even asking it right off the bat, I'm not even sure that I know which one I would pick. Facing the Crowd, which I recommend to everybody as often as I can. Network, the film that lost Best Picture to, does anybody else know this? Rocky.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it came out the same year as Rocky.
Wow.
And everybody expected Network to win because it was, the kind of movie that was. Rocky was one of those feel-good, cheesy kind of movies. But the Academy went with Rocky. Although Stallone did not get the Oscar.
Nominated, though, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the Best Picture, he wasn't listed as a producer, which means he made a bad deal. I mean, he's the writer, star. He should have been in there as producer, even though they didn't want him to direct. Even thinking that Facing the Crowd is one of my favorite performances of all time, I can't act like the surrounding performances are as good. Everything in Network is great. Faye Dunaway is unbelievable. Network.
Got it.
God damn it.
Got it.
Did you know either one of those names, Jen?
Yeah, I thought you were going to pick Facing the Crowd because everyone that I know watched that movie said it was great.
It is fantastic. John, New Jersey.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey.
Bennington Barometer, Adam Sandler or Jim Carrey?
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Yeah, this wouldn't even be a tougher one for all the kids here because these were the 2 big comedic actors.
Oh my God.
Of your youth. If I was to ask you, what would you say on your own, Chris?
Adam Sandler.
Gail?
Oh my God, I don't know. It's so difficult. I really don't want to pick.
You don't have to pick.
I guess Carrie. I guess. So that's really difficult.
For me, it is not as difficult because Adam Sandler is one of the funniest people, and he's done a great job of knowing his audience. But Jim Carrey is a freak of comedic nature. Those 3 films that he did in 1994, all hilarious, all totally different. I mean, that's just, this is like meeting somebody that can hit home runs from both sides of the plate.
Yeah.
I go with Jim Carrey.
It was those performances are pretty phenomenal.
Insane.
And
insane.
Like so uniquely him.
And
like
all
for
different
that,
from each other. But you loved your guy, huh?
Yeah, Billy Madison. is a movie. Fuck.
So sorry, Chris. I did not pick your favorite. No, it's unbelievable what he did. It's astonishing how long he was able to remain at the top as a comedic actor. It's just fucking insane.
He said, Adam Sandler is better. He makes the hair silky and smooth.
I can picture little Chris Stanley doing that over and over.
I was fucking obsessed. I still am obsessed with Billy Madison. It's still a fucking great movie.
Out of all of them, because I prefer Happy Gilmore.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that premise is fucking hilarious. A guy who wants to play hockey and could just hit a 400-yard shot. That's fucking funny right there. You don't even need it. We got to wrap this one up, kids. We got to take it home. What else we got to play? Oh, let's if you want to go to Demetri Martin.
Yes, that's happening this Friday. Go to the interrobang.com for a chance at free tickets.
Anything else, Chrissy?
No, that's it.
Tonight I'm out where?
You're at New York Comedy Club for Stand Up on the Spot at 9:15.
Really, really great people out there, too.
Roy Wood Jr., Giannis Pappas.
Great show.
McIntosh, Ron Bennington.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to get fucking my ass handed to me out there. Stand Up on the Spot. Let's see. What's funny about ducks? They got bills. That's it. See you all again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!